Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'm Reina Creole, of course, keeping it real when it comes to theme parks. And speaking of keeping it real, this is the Resort Recon Live podcast. This is my in studio podcast, as opposed to when I'm out running around in the parks where we catch you guys up on the latest theme park news, get you guys insights, answer your questions, and we just basically have a good time nerding out about parks and how best to enjoy them. A whole lot of stuff we got going on in the show, lots of quick hits, but eventually we're going to get into some updates with regards to construction at the theme parks here in Orlando, because there's stuff that's really popping off, and yet another piece of confirmation to one of my prognostications about Islands of Adventure. So we're going to talk about that. But before we get started, I'm going to bring in some of my pals, my fellow theme park aficionados, of course, as well. We have got Sam Wolf from Life of a Military Wife, and we have got
Hey.
Tom. How y'all
Hello.
doing?
Well, I feel like I'm with you on the sore throat allergies bite
Gosh.
train right now. So, yay. But
Oh,
otherwise, we're good. We're gonna be okay.
I'm glad
God.
we can't pass this around over microphones and electronics. I'm good.
I woke up Thursday and I had no voice. Oh my gosh, it was the weirdest thing. I was just like, I have no voice. I can't talk. I have no voice. I have no voice. And then after that, I sounded like a 2-pack a day smoker. So it's starting to get a little bit better. So
You
I've
sound
got
like
water.
Roz a little bit.
Yeah.
Watching,
I'm
always
always
watching.
watching. Your stunned silence is very reassuring. Oh my gosh. But I've got water with key lime juice in it, so I think that's gonna work out real well.
I
So
just have
we
coffee.
you have coffee. I had coffee. I had my 2 cups of coffee already. So after that, I have to switch to tea, not just any kind of tea, Earl Grey tea, because that sucker's got caffeine in it.
Yep.
And
I like the
so
gunpowder tea.
really, I haven't heard of that one.
It's good. I get it. Believe it or not, I used to buy it at Disney at the
Really?
shop over in yeah, it was in Epcot in the European section over by the Rose and Crown.
Oh. Wait. Yeah. Where you used to be able to get all the cool British candy,
Yes.
and then they got rid of it. I'm just like, how freaking
So
dare
I've been finding
you?
it on Amazon now. It's sort of the same.
Go and show me that you sound like Lucille Ball post color television. I love Lucille Ball. I used to watch I Love Lucy with my granddad, and it was the funniest thing. I will never forget, like the chocolates coming down the conveyor belt.
Oh my gosh, heck yes.
That it was so funny. Oh wait,
Uh-oh.
we'll get Sam back. That was like hilarious. But another reason that I love Lucille Ball, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but she was one of the first famous visitors to stay at the Polynesian Resort at Walt Disney World.
Really?
Um, Here's Sam. Hey,
Oh,
hey. Oh, wait a minute. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, there we go. All right,
yeah.
all right. She's back. She's back. Yeah. So when they opened the Polynesian Resort at Walt Disney World, they had all of these famous visitors who stayed there. You know, the governor of Florida at the time, of course, because hey, he helped make it happen. You had Bob Hope who stayed there. You had uh, you had Bob Hope who stayed there. You had Lucille Ball who stayed there. And actually, the Beatles officially broke up at the Polynesian. John Lennon and Yoko Ono were actually vacationing there. And I guess he got the telegram or whatever to sign the official paperwork that split up the Beatles. So a lot of history over there at the Polynesian. And as a kid, I loved seeing Bob Hope. So I always felt like this connection before I went to California, where, hey, all these Hollywood stars stayed here, so now I get to, that was on my bucket list to do. I used to watch I Love Lucy after school. It was on Fox from 4 to 6. Yes, that was like the block. You had I Love Lucy, you had the
Laverne
Addams
and Shirley.
Family, um,
Yes.
Laverne and Shirley, and then it would go to a little bit earlier. It would go to like the 1960s Batman.
Oh yeah,
That, oh my
Adam
gosh,
West.
Adam West. Always used to watch that. So much cool stuff. So let's see who we have got in the chat. I see you guys filtering in between YouTube, between X, and over on Tom's channel. So please do make sure you hit that like button, because that is your price of admission. Free, cheaper than anything in a theme park. So let's see. We have got Sarah Rust. Hello. Says hi, guys. Look, good seeing you. Good seeing you. I'm looking at your avatar, and I'm actually trying to decide if I'm going to be adopting a kitten or not. It's something I'm thinking of, because Professor X needs something to keep him busy.
He's not satisfied with the lights.
No,
You got to
he's
change him up.
always trying to find where I am. And I always wind up getting these breeds of cats. Male cats are clingy anyway, but I had a Russian blue. Well, he would follow me and talk. That was a weird thing. He would actually hold a conversation. And the Bengal that I have, he follows me around. These breeds of cats, especially Bengals, they always need to know where you are, especially who they know as mom in the house. They have to know where you are. I can't even go in the bathroom. He's outside of it crying, or I see this paw up under like the door. I'm like, what do you want? Even funnier.
That's like a toddler.
Yes. It's like a 2-year-old looking for you, or getting into everything. And on Saturdays when I would be in the parks, camera girl would literally have to turn the stream on so he could hear my voice, because he was walking around the house crying, trying to find out where the heck I was. So he's like Garfield, and he needs a normal to like redirect his attention. So
yeah, my mother-in-law's cat is a little clingy. I'm not a huge cat person. There are cats I have liked, but I'm not a cat person.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's like, for me, I was like, I need a self-cleaning pet, because I'm not walking anything right now. So I'm just like, here, keep yourself occupied. But yeah, I wind up getting this one. So we're like, okay, get a kitten. That means I'm gonna have to like toddler proofing your house.
Oh heck yeah.
So it's
Except
like, okay,
this toddler learns to jump straight up and take things off your shelves.
jump up on you, jump up on the curtains. It's like, they're on a crazy mission every darn day. Stupid kitten tricks is what I call it. Hey, Bobby's World. Hello, all. Hello, all. Mr. Milktoast says, probably no commenting for me today, as I'm busy manhandling a recliner out of the house. However, I will have the sound turned up to the max to listen. Hope that counts. Of course it does. Of course it counts. Even if you're just stealth watching, hitting that like button,
Oh yeah, I listen and lurk a lot.
You would be surprised how many people's streams I like lurk in, just to like listen, just to see what's going on. Perfectly okay. That watch time counts. Hey, Linda says hello, the Reina panel and everyone in the chat.
Oh, Tom disappears when his wife shows up.
I just had a coughing fit. You didn't need to see it or hear it. She's in the other room. Trust me. If I get that far out of hand, you'll see the hand come out of nowhere and smack me in reality.
Hey, Kimberly Ann Hart, good to see you. We've got Goofar35 here as well. Says, hey there, hey there, hey there. And Braylon Lee, hello, says it's Recon time. I'm so excited about today's show. I was the first to report from the Orlando Business Journal about the construction for Islands of Adventure. I went live yesterday to talk about it. Yep, we're going to be talking about that. And once again, I'm going to say hashtag Lorena is right, because if you've been following me for a while, there's a theory I have about what's coming to Islands of Adventure. So we're gonna talk about that.
As long as it isn't Bob Iger, I'm good with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
You probably go over there.
Sometimes being right isn't fun. Sometimes being right isn't fun.
No, but in this case, I'm right. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna talk about it. Let's see. Deborah Rife-Rada is here. Good to see you, my darling. And let's see who else we've got here. We saw Go and Shogi was here a little earlier. We have got Dadman walking in the chat. Says hail from Bubbaloo's Bodacious BBQ. Mrs. and Ang say hi, Lorena, Tom, and Sam. Time to head to the studios. Well, you guys enjoy the studios. I remember that barbecue place. I actually went there with Dad Man and the missus. And as soon as we walked in, I'm like, yeah, it smells right. Barbecue
Which
joints.
one is that at?
Oh,
where is that one at?
Man, it is, I want to say, I think it's in East Orlando. I'm trying to, it's been the longest time. So I totally forget exactly where. It wasn't close to the studios, I know that much. It's in a strip mall. It's in this hole in the wall place. As you know, guys, the best barbecue is at like these hole in the wall places, and the smell of the barbecue smoke hits you before you walk in, and the menu is usually written in chalk or dry erase, because depends on what they've got. It's very very nondescript. People are there for the
just
food,
said it's on Conroy, just off Kirkman.
Okay, Conroy of Kirkman. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you. But yeah, that place was good. That was good barbecue, not like that pretend to be barbecue place, the Polite Pig down at Disney Springs. Barbecue is not polite. Barbecue is like put the newspaper on the floor. We are going to be eating like nobody's business. And Go and Shogi, thank you so very, very much for that $5 super chat. I sure do appreciate that. Let me hit you up, my dear. Since you're the first one, you get this one. This is pathetic.
Join in, folks. It's yodeling time. Here at Lester's
Elephant green screen effect.
I will never let Disney forget that.
Dude, that was genius. Whoever made that. That was just genius.
They had it on X for like a minute. And as soon as I saw it, I said, oh my gosh, I have to clip this. And then it was poof, it was gone off of X.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad I snipped that, because that explains it all. We're all max in that one for sure. Let's see. Kittens are 80% speed metal mosh pit disaster. Yes. And 20% sleeping cutie. Then they grow up to be 100% high school bully. Yes, that is so right. That's like the truth. They are, there's no slow button unless they're sleeping. and then back up and into everything all over the place. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? What's this? What's this? What's it? Something else. Yeah. And then yeah, that's exactly what they grow up to be. Thank you, Go and Show. Yeah, I appreciate that super chat, my dear. Kittens are little chaos machines. Love it. Yes, they are. And in a way I kind of do. I do miss the chaos. Professor X needs a friend. He needs a little nemesis. That's what he pretty much needs. He needs a little nemesis, to keep him occupied.
A frenemy.
Yes, that's exactly it. If you've ever read the Garfield cartoons,
heck yeah.
Normal, the cute kitten, he shows up and Garfield's just like, "What do you want?"
No, we jokingly say that about baby cuteness and our dog because they have that kind of a vibe. They're either like at each other's throats or like being cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not literally. The dog does not harm the toddler. I'd have to say the clarification.
I was
It's
just
annoy,
wondering,
not hurt.
Yes, you did. You started food on your stream, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We eventually start talking about food one way or another on here. So
food is always great.
Yes. Have fun at the Studios Park. And you have the possum hat?
That does not surprise me about Shogi.
I love that Shogi.
Now he's got to send pictures of on X with him wearing a possum hat.
I want to see the possum hat. I need this in my life.
So that possum hat was that was great. Love it. Every Batman needs a Joker. Yes, he needs someone to be a constant pain in the butt. And I usually get all my kittens from rescue groups, so it'll be nice to bring one in. Again, I gotta kitten proof the house before it gets here. All right, so let's get started, of course, with a little bit of fun, because that's how I do here.
Oh, welcome to Blastin' Bites. We got ration fried tacos, blue milkshakes, and probably a health code violation. Let's eat. Hey, what do you want?
One space dog.
One space dog. Coming right up.
Okay, don't freak out. But the inspector's here, and someone left a thermal detonator in the freezer. Just smile and hand him a churro.
Looks better than Galaxy's Edge.
Steve, this was a great idea. We're a success.
Okay, but this just makes me laugh because it's more funny when you understand military food.
Yeah?
Let's celebrate tonight, man. It's been a great day.
Oh, heck yeah. There's a reason why they call them hot A's. Like the stuff they eat in the field, the warm rations, depending on who's running it's that. Sometimes you get people who actually know how to make food, and sometimes you get that. There's times. Oh my gosh.
I love stuff like this.
This is awesome. Well, that's why one of my favorite scenes from Mandalorian, my husband and I were literally rolling on the floor laughing, like not even joking. We were laughing so hard. Was that random scene that everyone's like, that ruined the pacing. Why was it there? The stormtroopers on the speeder bikes trying to shoot the little can. Oh my gosh. Anybody in the military was laughing their butt off so hard because that's real. That's so real.
I had to laugh at that so hard because it reminded me of my Palatka relatives.
Mm-hmm.
That was guy who would shoot stuff out here in the back of the yard. Okay.
I cannot confirm or deny that I have done things like that.
Everyone who served in the military knows someone who is that bad and doesn't realize it.
Yes. Hey, Liam McNeil said, is it any surprise cats are like that? Remember, we didn't domesticate them. They domesticated themselves. No, I'm not surprised. I just like remarking on it. Because after well, being owned, I shouldn't say owning, being owned by like a total of 5 cats by now. Yeah, I know the deal. I know the deal. It's like, look, I feed you, you're around for fun, clean up after yourself, and occasionally entertain me, which usually is around television when they want to sit on me. Snort
Okay.
says that food truck is a total.
Let me go down, kids.
Okay, you go down. Sorry, baby cuteness joined us for 5. Okay,
I
you go on downstairs.
heard. I heard. Brian Acosta says, hey, everyone. And Naomi Bayardo says, hi, Tom. Happy Saturday. And why is my phone going off? Everybody knows I'm streaming. Why is my phone going off? Okay. For some reason, I can't unface lock my phone because it doesn't recognize me with the Tony Stark glasses on. I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, on to other fun stuff. Apparently, Disneyland fireworks were exploding on the freeway.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday.
Wait, what?
Right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4.
Ooh.
Yeah, check it out.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. It didn't hit someone's car. Like that could have caused an accident.
Yes, because it is Disneyland is way different from Disney World. I mean, from Disney World, everything it's there's the parking and then there's all this space before you get to the park. But Disneyland, yes, it is right up there next to the streets and everything. Dang. Given the current state of LA, the driver probably wasn't shocked or surprised. Yeah, I would agree with that. There are crazy things in Los Angeles. I remember driving home and all of a sudden there are all of these darn choppers flying around. And it looked like a chase out of a movie. Apparently they were filming stuff. So sometimes you don't know if it's LAPD or if they're filming something.
Yeah.
And then one night I woke up, I'm like, what is all this noise? All these fireworks were going off. They were filming something. So 2 a.m. in the morning, fireworks are going off like nuts. Like, what the heck? But yeah, Disneyland. Wow. I hope nobody was hurt.
Yeah.
I hope
Like it's not like it even hit the highway and there was no one around. There were definitely traffic there. Like that seriously could have done some damage.
Oh yeah.
Totally. So glad no one got hurt.
Well, like no one swerved. Everyone just kept. Maybe that's just LA drivers for you. They're just so gung ho on I'm getting where I'm going and nothing's gonna stop me. So they were okay.
Especially Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Yeah, I've seen so much weird stuff in LA. Hey, BR
You have
guys.
goldfish?
He says, hi, everyone. I'm a few minutes behind, but I grew up watching Mr. Ed and I Dream of Jeannie on TV Land, and I love them so much. Mr. Ed, I really didn't watch as much. I preferred watching Green Acres because I like seeing Ava Gabor, so I watched Green Acres. I Dream of Jeannie, yes.
I Dream of Jeannie, yeah.
I watched that so much, and one of my viewers was gracious enough to send me, I think, season 1 of I Dream of Jeannie on DVD. I love that. I love that show so darn much.
Bewitched. I also loved Bewitched. That one was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I later in life, like my husband and I got into the Dick Van Dyke Show on reruns. Oh my gosh, there are times where I'm like, how did they know? I wasn't even born yet. It's like they have a camera on my marriage and I wasn't even born. It was so funny.
Yes, Hyraxis. Yeah, just another This is probably not the first time that this has happened, considering how close the roads are to Disneyland. So I'm really not surprised. Not surprised. Not surprised. Well, speaking of, I won't say I'm not surprised about this. First of all, 100 of you watching between YouTube and X. So thank you so very, very, very much. It's the Resort Recon Live podcast, and coming to us from our friends over at That Park Place, Dollywood tops Disney Parks in Guest Experience Award for 6th consecutive year.
Way to go.
I still haven't been there yet. We gotta go there.
I haven't either. It is on my bucket list because I want to do Smoky Mountain Christmas. That's one of my things that I want to do. That's on my bucket list. I want to go around Christmas time to Dollywood and just enjoy it. So many people, I've heard nothing but good things about Dollywood, their attractions. Oh Lord, the cinnamon bread.
I want to go just for that. Sorry.
It's so good. Cinnamon bread, and they make the kettle corn too. I'll have to find that video. But the Jolly guys, they went to Dollywood and they were just like tripping out over all the food. It's like, it just feels good to be here. We don't have
this. We had been planning to take our kids there when we were stationed in Kentucky, because my husband had been gone for a year, and we'd been told that they were going to keep us put. And so we'd been saving up to do that. And then at the last minute, they're like, oh, no, we're going to move you to a new duty station. So we weren't able to, and we had to put all the money towards our move. And I really wish now that we had just done it anyway.
I feel you on that. That stinks.
Well, let's see here. We have got, from Cham Lee, Dollywood has once again ranked above Disney Parks, taking the Amusement Today Golden Ticket Award for Best Guest Experience. This marks the 6th time the Tennessee theme park has achieved that honor. The park secured 3 major awards in total at the same ceremony: Best Guest Experience, Best Kids Area, and Best Family Coaster. Oh, I love that. That's America right there. With the bald eagle.
I love the bald eagle. That's awesome.
That looks great. Oh my gosh. So the 2025 Golden Ticket Awards were announced on September 6th, 2025. Dollywood was the winner in the Best Guest Experience Award category, maintaining its long winning streak. This marks the 6th consecutive year that Dollywood has been ranked above both Disney and Universal parks in the guest experience category. So Dolly's Wildwood Grove claimed the Best Kids Area, a category it's held since opening in 2019. So the park's largest expansion to date, the area invites guests to enter through a hollow log and explore a landscape inspired by Dolly Parton's childhood imagination of the Smoky Mountains. I get it. The fact that it's based on her childhood. Have you ever heard like Dolly Parton talk about how she grew up in the Smoky Mountains and things that her and her siblings used to do? It seems amazing. Oh, you went twice, Sarah Rust. I'm so jealous. I need to go to Dollywood so much. So central to the design is a towering 50 to 55 centerpiece adorned with thousands of butterflies that illuminate in a nightly light show. Oh my gosh. There's a suspended family coaster, gate tree swing, treetop tower, mad mockingbird. Mockingbirds are a pain in the ass. Black Bear Trail, Hidden Hollow, and Wildwood Creek, an interactive splash area with musical elements, and they've got meet and greets with figures like Benjamin Bear, Flit, and Flute. Oh my gosh. That looks amazing. So the new Best Family Coaster Award went to Dolly's Bear Mountain, launching steel roller stretches almost 4,000 feet, making it the longest coaster in the park. Cinnamon bread. Oh my God.
I just want to go. I'm thinking a road trip, Linda, if she's listening. Just go up and get cinnamon bread and I'll be happy. Because from what Lou Wassman's Ghost was saying, this stuff is really good.
I've heard is absolutely.
Yeah, I keep hearing that too. So cinnamon bread, so is it like an actual loaf of bread and you like cut pieces off, or is it like a donut-y kind of bread?
I don't know. I want to find
I'm
out.
not, because every picture I see is like that. I've not seen like a good picture. Maybe I just need to look harder.
It looks like it's in a loaf pan. I'm gonna look at it down there, and freshly baked, and oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells so good. But let's see, Golden Ticket Awards by Amusement Today. Annually, it's done through votes cast by experienced travelers, industry professionals, and enthusiasts. So Universal got a couple. Best New Roller Coaster, Stardust Racers. I am not surprised that if you miss Dueling Dragons, Stardust Racers just looks amazing.
At night, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes. Even if you're not riding Stardust Racers, that area where both of them kind of like come together and they go up to like the launch segment. It's so cool.
When we were all there, we're all just watching and our heads are just going,
like, what the heck is it? And yes, it sounds like a rocket being launched. they both get launched there. It is awesome. Dollywood is on my bucket list too. Yeah, a lot of people bucket list. And Zen Water says Stardust Racers was so much fun. Just wrote it Tuesday. Yes. Yeah. And it has a flux capacitor in it as well. Call back to the Future. In the back of each train, you'll see it. There's like a flux capacitor that's in it. So best new attraction installation, Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. I've heard that it is finally stable, which we knew that was going to eventually happen.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. Best new theme concept, Dark Universe. Again, not surprised. Dark Universe looks like something straight out of a Gothic novel. It looks like they're walking right into Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or Bram Stoker's Dracula. There is no modern lighting outside. It just all looks creepy. It looks so darn good. And
that is really great lighting.
Hmm?
That is really great lighting because it gives you texture and depth. Like, that's good lighting.
You have to see it at night in person because the pictures don't do it justice.
I'm sure. But like even in the pictures, it looks good, which means they've done something right.
Yeah, the lighting, it's like there's electricity that goes through there. So it's like I think when they snapped the pictures, it was like all lit up. The castle feels alive, let's put it that way. When you walk up to there, it's just amazing. Dark Universe was so fun as a land. The Frankenstein ride was great, but my sister and I were really disappointed in the werewolf. Yeah, I did not like the werewolf ride that much.
I like the theming.
The theming was great.
Okay, but the ride itself was kind of like meh.
Yeah, it was meh. There was something that was missing at the end of it, which I knew was a technical rehearsal, but still it was kind of like, that's it? Really? That's it? They just kind of push it and you go back down. It was a miss. I mean, the ride vehicle is interesting because it spins around and all that, but nah, I wasn't too cool with that one. And Monsters Unchained, the Frankenstein experiment. Now, Tom and I got to ride Monsters Unchained. We didn't get to ride it just once though, right?
No, they let us go twice right in a row. And
Really?
I've been on it a couple times since then. One with Bob, then another time I went, and yeah. I like that ride a lot. It's really cool. The second time we went on, some of the animatronics were working a little bit better. They had the timing at the last thing, remember? And they stole that last part of Dracula at the part. I don't know if they have that actually timed just right yet, but I think they're working on it more. But
Okay.
I like it. I still want to do Battle of the Ministry. Still mad I didn't get to go on that yet.
Oh,
The
I went on an IT rant about that when it happened. It just was not done right. But Monsters Unchained, between walking through the castle, which it truly feels like Castle Frankenstein. If I had to describe it, it's a love letter to the Haunted Mansion, because you get the same kind of vibes walking through there. The murals that they have, the experiments that they have going on, just how authentic it looks.
With tech, it's awesome because it's mixed.
Yeah. And that loading area is freaking amazing.
Cool. I like that front part. I want that wall of skulls. If I could put that behind me somehow, I'd do that, right?
Yeah.
That was
I'll
insane.
I'll pass on that.
Oh, once you see it, you'll understand why, because it's just really cool looking.
Yeah, it goes with that experiment, that experimentation that Dr. Frankenstein, well, now it's Victoria Frankenstein, what they have going on there. But it looks incredible. I am not surprised it topped Rise of the Resistance, because unlike Rise of the Resistance, it was actually working. I mean, yeah, we went during the preview, so everything that we saw, even though the Dracula animatronic, the second one, because they had the first one, that one were fine. The second one was kind of stationary. Even though we knew that, it still looked freaking awesome. It looked great. And the Phantom of the Opera animatronic, it's so awesome. It's so awesome, between the music and between, because the ride vehicle it's kind of like the ride vehicle from Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, because you're kind of like on a kuka arm, so to speak, but you're not just flying through there. You're literally hovering over the pipe organ that the Phantom of the Opera is playing, and there's flames coming out of the pipe organ, and you feel the heat from the flames. And then, the Phantom of the Opera goes from paying attention to the keyboard to looking straight at you. It's cool. It's
that, and cool. Seeing our creature, the Black Lagoon, he was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was like a hint. Yeah.
When I first heard about that land, I'm like, nah, I'll pass. Doesn't sound like it's for me. But like the way you guys are talking about certain things, I'm like, okay, maybe it'd be okay. Maybe I would be okay with it.
Yeah, I think so. It's like you literally look like you're walking into an Eastern European village.
And see, I love that architecture.
Between the lighting, you've got the characters out there, especially the Invisible Man, who does not like people pointing those devices at them.
And then what's they had the violinist come out.
They had the violinist comes out, and it's just like this. Just the live music with the violin just gives you those additional creepy vibes to it. It's very gothic when you walk through there, and it's amazing. Especially the Burning Blade Tavern.
I like that place.
Yeah, the tavern, the blades of the windmill catch on fire. I think it's like every 15 minutes, I think, or so. When the bell tolls, that's when you know. That's creepy. When you hear the bell tolling, it's awesome. People know, okay, windmill's gonna catch on fire soon, so let's go on over there. And inside the Burning Blade Tavern, the ceiling looks like it's like on fire, and you can smell like the sulfur from time to time, and there's parts of it inside that are It's so freaking cool. It is absolutely amazing. And if it is accessible horror, they do have something for everyone. Yeah, it's very much a PG-13 kind of horror level.
Okay. 'Cause, like, I don't mind an Agatha Christie novel, like, it's not like I don't do anything that's suspenseful or whatever. I'm just not a gore horror, like, I just don't like a lot of blood and guts and jump scares. I'm not that kind of person.
Oh no, this doesn't happen here, which is why it's smart that Universal did this in comparison to Halloween Horror Nights. That is a lot of blood and guts and gore, but over here in Dark Universe, it's different. So that's actually smart because especially for families, unless you're a weird family, because I've seen families out there with little kids at Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know. I don't get it. But
this sounds more okay, my worry with Villains Land is that they're gonna be elevating and glorifying the bad guys in the stories, and I have an issue with that as a parent of little children because you want your kids to be able to recognize right from wrong. There's a reason why you have an antagonist. And with the stories that it sounds like they've picked, the characters they've picked for Dark Universe, like Frankenstein's really not a bad, like, it's more of a cautionary tale about judging people, like, it's and jumping to conclusions and things like that. Like, it feels like they picked characters and creatures that are a little bit more nuanced and not supposed to have been black and white, which a lot of Disney villains are supposed to be black and white. They're supposed to be just bad. And now that if they try to rehab them, I feel like that's going to not be ideal for little kids.
yeah,
That might be an unpopular take.
no, because that was my thing with the Disney characters. It was always, you know, good and evil. There was not any in between. And if you read the original Brothers Grimm fairy tales, it's like that.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
characters that are, blatantly evil and those that are blatantly good. Why? So kids can easily know the difference. I'll say with Universal Monsters, I would say it's been moved from like say the younger kids with like good and evil to the lesson of you have this power, you have the capacity to do good or evil with it. What are you going to choose? And like example with the Invisible Man, it's like he chose the absolutely wrong path and didn't realize it truly until the end, and the consequence of the action caught up with him. So I think that's another reason why the Universal Monsters franchise is still popular, because there really isn't what some people might say a gray area. I would say is that battle between the good and evil that is in a person, and ultimately that person makes choice.
So, it's the next stage of mental development. So with little kids, you want those more clear-cut stories, but with kids that are hitting like 9, 10, a little older, you need to start showing them the nuance of anybody can, it's your choices, and you need to take accountability for the decisions you make. Yeah, see that I'm more comfortable with that than them trying to make like Cruella a good person. Cruella is not a good person.
No,
Like,
she's not.
don't try to rehab Cruella. She's evil.
We want her to be evil. They wrote a whole darn song about her,
Her name is Cruel Devil. Like,
Yes, that's
there was
exactly.
not supposed to be anything good about that woman.
It wasn't. It wasn't. But another good thing that I like about Dark Universe, especially if you want to get kids, especially teenagers, more involved in reading. It's like you're at Frankenstein's castle. Well, you should read Mary Shelley's
Uh-huh.
Frankenstein, and or you should read, The Invisible Man, or my personal favorite, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Read that one. It's if this gets kids into going back and reading,
These
those classic
classics.
novels. Yes, the
Well,
classics.
they have so like the stories in them, they're so well there's a reason why they've stood the test of time. It's
Hmm.
because they're well developed, well thought out, nuanced concepts that teach really like valuable life lessons and critical thinking. I like Frankenstein especially. I love Jacqueline Hyde. Like, there are
Hmm.
some really great, like, conversations you can have with your older kids with these books.
Yes,
Yeah, I agree.
absolutely. Well, moving from Epic Universe, we're actually going to hop over here to Disney for a little bit, because I know some of you know whenever I go to Epcot, whenever I go to World Showcase,
Okay,
I'm
that's
going to
cute.
Mitsukoshi, because that place has been taking my money ever since I was a kid. You're usually going in there to get what? Kawaii and anime type of stuff. So apparently, what they've done now is there is now this kiosk here. So it's a station of vending machines selling gachapon. So what they are, they're small capsule toys sold by Bandai that are popular in Japan. There you'll find vending machines like this around the country. Well, you can also find these at Gotchaland over in the Florida Mall, as well. But they're these little vending machines, and like here, they've got, okay, well, that's Wales, but that looks like Hello Kitty. Chainsaw Man, I have to have that. I love the Chainsaw Man anime. So yeah, all these stuff. So you can go and get them.
They're like
I
the
think it's
little,
Dragon
like,
Ball.
almost like the gumball, bouncy ball, my little
Hmm.
machine. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, exactly. So I don't see how much they are. Okay, but yeah, toys are unassembled, so you get the fun of building them yourself. It's kind of like Kinder eggs before. Well, back in the day when I used to go over to Germany a lot, I would bring back Kinder eggs, which they were illegal to sell in the U.S., but you could bring them back.
Yeah.
And that's what my nieces and nephews and camera girl wanted. Forget seeing me. They're like, "Where's the Kinder eggs?" So this is
I
pretty
still
much
wanna
like,
get my hands on a OG, like a good like a real Kinder Egg. Anyway.
I wish I would have kept them. Oh my gosh, there's Ultraman. That's an old school anime. But apparently, I guess you purchase here with your card. There's JoJo's Bizarre. Oh shoot,
So you
JoJo's
purchase
Bizarre
and it gives
Adventure.
you, like, a token, and then you put the token in the machine? Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, for those of us who are, noobs to this concept, I'm just trying to figure it out for all of us who are staring at the picture going, "Huh?"
yeah, I know. I'm just like, do you purchase one, or yeah, no cash payment? So whether it's one or two, or of course, here's my mind
Maybe you
thinking.
just put in the amount you want, and then you just turn the knob that you want after you make a purchase.
Yeah, and that just kind of counts against how many
Credits you have on there.
credits you bought. Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
if you got 5, you can get a chance to do
I kind of don't
5.
like that it doesn't have a place to put cash.
Yeah,
I
it kind of
know.
freaks me out a little bit.
I love that I like the ones with the little quarters. The quarter machines are awesome,
Yeah, they're just
and I can more
so.
easily control how much my children spend.
Retro.
Exactly, and I don't trust other people not to put some kind of skimmer on it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So they have Dragon Ball.
Well, and that's like if it's tap is a little safer, but like
Now there's
still.
tap skimmers now. There's tap skimmers now.
Oh, dang it. Well, for a while we were doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband worked in finance before he went into the military, and then now he's doing IT. And so he's up on all that stuff, and he's always like, no, do this, do that. This is more secure. Dang it.
There was a thing, I won't derail a little bit, but a lot of the gas stations now, they have that, putting a tap sticker over the tap point, and then that is another thing to read it. It allows it to go through, but it also takes all the information.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait,
it's not
but
very
it's
nice.
a sticker?
Yeah, it's a sticker that goes over where it says tap here, and it looks exactly like it.
Oh, well, that's a good thing to start looking for then.
Yep.
We buy a lot of our gas on Post. If anyone tries that on Post, they're gonna really get it.
That'd be a bad time.
That would be bad. Bad mojo.
All I know is that looks like a little ice cream sundae. Now I'm getting even more hungry. Thank you, Lorraine.
I know. At first I thought it was a real ice cream sundae. I'm like, dude, that takes some mad skill. Like, that's gotta be super pricey. And then it's a toy, and I'm like, okay.
I thought that too. I'm like, wait, where in the Japan pavilion can I buy this dessert? And then I looked and like saw it was
a toy.
Little toy. Okay. I'm gonna get some. Because again, they've got Chainsaw Man and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So I'm gonna try to go over there and check it out. Although I will say, again, if you go to the Florida Mall, there is literally an anime/gotcha wing of that mall.
I stay out of the mall on purpose.
I can't. I'm drawn to malls. I just do.
I broke that addiction years ago, and I don't want to go back to it.
I just do.
You know, it has to be a good mall. It has to be a good mall. We went to a mall a while back with our kids, and we walked in and walked straight out because we just did not feel comfortable. It was just it just felt really run down and like
and
dirty.
dingy, like time forgot. Now the Florida Mall is designed to keep you there, and you want to stay there. It's the tourist mall. It's like
okay.
For all my Philly folks, it's like the King of Prussia Mall. There's all kinds of stuff that's there. They've got the Creole experience that's there. They've got the American Girl store that's there. They've even got kiosks that will dispense wine for you. Yeah, the Primark that's over there. So it's a different type of mall. So I know going over there, like if I want anime or kawaii stuff, like there's the Miniso that they have there. I should stay out of that store, but I cannot. I can't. If you love kawaii, Hello Kitty, they've got Harry Potter stuff, like some of the stuff that they'll actually bring over from Japan. They'll have like in the Miniso store. Hey, Izzo's Place, thank you for being a member for 18 months. I so appreciate that, my dear.
I know you want the goodies. Welcome to the goodie room.
Thank you.
I now get that clip. I now understand that clip.
Yes, because it's a movie. Well,
P.S. When my husband found out you guys had like wanted me on to see that, he's like, "You haven't?" I'm like, "Honey, there are so many movies you have seen I have not."
Just you check it out. That's okay. There's some movies that I still haven't seen. Like I actually saw the movie Prom Night for the first time last night.
What?
I cannot believe that Marvin, the movie monster, has not seen Labyrinth.
Wow.
Okay. Now I'm in shock.
He has not seen Labyrinth. And I'm like, I think I'm going to troll you now for the rest of your life until you see that. Like, how can you, of all people, have not seen Labyrinth?
Did he say that last night and I missed it? When did he say that?
He said it. He said it like a week ago. I don't think you were wrenching. I think you were. It was a late night stream. I don't think you were wrenching that one. And I was like, gasp. Yeah.
You haven't seen Labyrinth? Wow.
I know.
Dang. Since I didn't see Labyrinth until about 8 years ago. I loved Labyrinth. So
I can't believe you didn't see Prom Night until that. What the heck?
You know, it didn't really interest me as much. So I wasn't really into it. It just didn't really well.
So what was your favorite part now, since you've seen it?
Oh my gosh. What was my darn favorite part? I'm trying to figure out which I'm trying to think which one was my favorite part. I don't even know if I have a favorite part. I just kept guessing where all the kills were going to happen.
Okay.
Like as soon as the one girl walked into the bathroom and like and the lights went out, I'm like, oh, number one, they're going to kill her because
you
in
go
the mirror and there was a piece of glass up mirror that was missing. I'm like, oh, she going to get shit first. Just
never go to the bathroom alone. It's part of the girl code.
No,
you don't go to public restrooms alone, girlies.
But what if you have a friend like called Smith and Wesson or Glock?
That's better, but it's still better to have actual backup.
Oh, now that I remember, yes, when I guess when they brought the lights up on the stage and dude's severed head was there.
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh!
So laughed. I'm like,
would you rather watch that again? Would you rather watch that again or Carrie?
Carrie. I did that. I think that's why I didn't watch Prom Night, because I liked Carrie so much better. That's still one of the best Halloween costumes. Very, very easy.
How about you, Sam?
I don't watch scary movies. I'm a scaredy cat and lame.
That doesn't make you lame. Just makes you, you don't want nightmares.
No, that's the thing. I have an incredibly vivid imagination and it extends into my dreams. And so I'm very cautious what I watch. And especially now as a mom, like before I had kids, I could watch like Bones and CSI and I'd be okay. I can't watch those shows now. If it has anything to do with children being harmed, I will have nightmares for weeks.
Oof.
Yeah. I don't need that in my life.
I know.
Did any of you watch the movie, the Phantasm series?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I think forever ago.
Those will flip you the hell out.
It was weird. I watched that.
I'm one of those people though that once I start watching a scary thing, I can't just stop. I have to watch until the end. I have to know how it ends, or the nightmares will be worse. So I was in college and one of my roommates was watching Red Eye and I was doing laundry and I kept walking in and out. And then finally I just sat down. I'm like, I have to know how this ends or I'm never going to be able to get on an airplane again. Like, I need to know. I need to know.
Meanwhile, we have this cheery picture up with the thing, and we're talking about what's wrong with us.
I know. We're kind of quite the group.
We're doing the dad man thing. We're squirreling.
We are squirreling. Dad man, you've infected us.
We are squirreling, but that just, that's part of the fun of the show. We take a detour and then we come back. Speaking of spooky stuff, Gators, Ghosts, and Goblins Halloween for 2025. This is an annual thing that Gatorland puts on. It is extremely family friendly. They do it the weekends from October 11th through the 26th. And it's a lot of fun. It reminds you of like an old school theme park. They have the team members, they get like dressed up, with the spooky costumes and all of that. You can meet Krampus. They hand out candy, to all the kids. There's a swamp ghost monster movie museum. Ooh. Join Cyrus the Gravedigger as he trespasses into an abandoned movie theater to teach you about the movie monsters of yesteryear. Visit the Cryptids versus Aliens Haunt Zone, where you can help the skunk ape save the world for some pretty extraterrestrials. So
Oh,
the
that's
skunk ape is
fun.
funny because the skunk ape is a little scared of kids. He's very shy. They have
I
the
love that there's like this little side quest for the kids too. That's so fun.
Mhm. It is a lot of fun and a really great family friendly activity. And I tell people it's like if you don't have the time or money or desire to go to, like, say, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, this is a cool Florida thing to do. So there's a costume parade, there's animal meet and greets, interactive characters, a DJ. They've got treat bags for all the kids who participate in the costume parade, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So it's included with your admission, regular park admission. So it's October 11th and 12th, the 18th and the 19th, and the 25th and the 26th. So the last 3 weekends of October. So the weather is usually a bit nicer around
Yeah.
then.
See, I love that it's included in your ticket. It's kind of stressful nowadays when you've got, okay, we're a family of 6. Like, if we're going to someplace like this, we're all going to be paying a ton in tickets. And then if you have to pay extra for the fun stuff, like, it's just any extras just make it so much harder for you to want to go in the first place. So that's cool that that's all included.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, especially getting to meet Krampus. Krampus Croc. That's who it is. It's Krampus Croc. And then they have places around the park that's decorated, Florida Halloween style. It is a lot of fun. And Sam, just like you said, it's included. It's included with admission. The food, for the most part, in the park is really good. Of course, it's got a little bit of a markup, but nothing near Disney prices. Plus, this was actually, I'll call it, the first real theme park in Central Florida, and it's a local park. That's the other thing. It's a local park. That's why I always love talking about Gatorland, because obviously they don't have the advertising budget like, say, Disney or Universal or SeaWorld does. Again, local attraction. During the pandemic, they did not lay anyone off.
That's
It's like
awesome.
Universal didn't either. They didn't lay anyone else off either, but especially at Gatorland, they didn't lay anyone off, and it truly is like a family business. So it's about 20, I would say 20 minutes from either Universal or Walt Disney World, down the street from the Cracker Barrel, which has not been renovated.
Yay!
I swear, like me, people were doing drive-bys like, you better not be renovating, you better not be taking Herschel off the sign. So yeah, there's like a Target, there's a Cracker Barrel, there is even a Hampton Inn should you want to stay over, overnight. So
See, honestly, I feel like all the Cracker Barrels, I'm gonna side quest here, and squirrel, but I feel like all the Cracker Barrels that actually did remodel are gonna be the ones that they end up having to shut down, because it's gonna just cost too much to put them back to what they were, and nobody's gonna wanna go to those ones.
Well, I believe they did one in Orlando by Ron, where Ron is at, and I don't think they're going to shut that down. They'd probably have to remodel that. It's too big of a
Okay.
draw there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know exactly which one you're talking about. It is.
And some of the places, like the one by me, it didn't get touched.
Thank
Some of the other
goodness.
some of the other ones, I could see them closing them if they're not that busy. It would make more sense. But the problem now is they still haven't got the clientele. I'm planning to drive by there tomorrow morning and see what the hell's going on. I'm curious to see if the church crowd is coming back, or Culver's is still kicking the living crap out of them, which is insane because it's not really a breakfast place.
No.
I want to see, because when I did that for Ron Stream the one day when I went there, I think it was a Sunday afternoon or it was Sunday afternoon, and it was basically empty. There was some cars there. There's plenty of parking spaces, and that never happens there. That is an extremely busy location, and that's more than just a sign change.
I wonder if we have one near us. I'm in the Mountain West, so there's not as many here, I don't think.
Well, I know the Cracker Barrel, the one that's near where Ron and I live, that parking lot, well, that's a very busy one because of where it's located. The parking lot's still full. They haven't changed anything there. So, yeah, I'm glad they did not move that.
There's technically one like 30 minutes from me, but we rarely go out to eat, and I'm not driving 30 minutes to eat.
No way. That's insane.
That's not tough. Why am I drive an hour to get coffee?
Because I don't drink coffee.
Well, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying me.
Okay, well, you can drive an hour. You can
ride my motorcycle 4 hours up to Boston to get clam chowder.
Now, I will drive 30 minutes for like good straight up from Italy Italian pizza. Heck freaking yeah. Or those handmade like crafted like, mom and pop donuts. Yeah, that would be worth it. Like there are things you driving 30 minutes, yes, but like
specialty things.
Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, nah. Oh, Dylan,
especially right now.
Yeah, actually doing that. Oh, Dylan, funny aside. I finally saw Prom Night, last night. Finally, never seen it before. Squirrel talk. Go back.
Yeah. Back and forth.
You hear the complete.
We got to change that to just Dad Man. That's all we got to say. And we'll know.
I know. We're gonna Dad Man, right? That's
yeah.
Although
Dad Man's fault.
Lorena, when I first started talking with Dad Man, I made the mistake of calling him Dog Man, and I kept.
I understand.
I'm so glad you get it.
I totally understand. Oh my. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. If you have kids, you know.
Yes.
But speaking of kids, and actually, Sam had brought this up. Hold on a second. What did you think of Prom Night? Not as good as Carrie. I just had fun predicting who was going to get killed and in what order. It was not as interesting as Carrie. Yeah. So one of the things Sam had brought up was the quote unquote Teal Initiative, which Sam, why don't you go ahead and explain exactly what that is? And then we'll lead into
Okay, so the Teal Pumpkin Project or initiative, it's been going on for I think 15 plus years, maybe longer than that. But basically it's food allergy awareness and dietary restriction awareness for Halloween for kids. So as a person who has those, when I was diagnosed with that stuff as a kid, Halloween became a whole heck of a lot less fun because it was the 90s and 2000s. People didn't think of that. But I have nieces and nephews, so we started thinking that way. So there are places, like I was talking to Lorena, evidently a lot of the ones that do like you said, Disney, Universal, they'll have those options. Typically the way you identify that it's for allergy people, like it's a non-food thing, is it's a teal pumpkin. So our house is a teal pumpkin house. You can actually register them or just put a teal pumpkin in your window so that parents with kids with food allergies know. And I know parents whose kids have food allergies who literally just go around and look for teal pumpkin houses, and that's the only ones they go to. And so what we do instead of just having candy, we do have candy. 'Cause, I mean, of course, there's kids that want candy, but
Mhm.
we also have like, this year, I got a bunch of vinyl stickers that are waterproof because that's really big with the kids. We've done slap bracelets, we've done, like, toys, we do lots well, every year we mix it up. Back when I used to do a blog, which I don't do anymore, I had, like, a whole list of ideas, but there's really simple, easy things you can have so that it's separate, and that way the kids still have something. And then when you are getting your food, like the candy that you're looking at, just check and see. We try to find stuff that has less allergens in it and isn't made in places with allergens so that, there's just options for the kids. Because Halloween is, as much as adults have wanted to co-opt it and turn it into an adult holiday, I still feel like it's a kid holiday. So
Yeah, and I have to agree. And one of the things that jogged my memory when you talked about teal pumpkins, these are the bags that they have at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. They make a big deal. Well, not a big deal, but they make it very aware that if you have food allergies, that there is this additional experience for you. So it's like you get a bag here that's like teal like this. So when you first check into the party and you go to the first stand where they give you the one and only full size bag of M&Ms, which is usually the ones you don't like. I guess like caramel, something like that. I don't like it. But it's the only full size one you're going to get. So when you check in, if you have allergies, you just make sure a cast member knows, and you'll see the bags that they'll have there. So they have an allergy friendly bag for you or for your kids to take around in the park, and then you get an allergy friendly full size. Either it's a full size candy or it's something, different like a toy or something like that. So you can get, these are examples, but they'll have like earth lollipops, allergy-free candies, safe and fair granola. They'll have like a pumpkin craft, a craft bracelet, other crafts. So that's what you get to do. And there's allergy redemption locations. So this is what's different. You don't get in the treat trail lines. There's special locations for you to go to. And this is from part of the map that you'll get for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. They call it out here where you can go and look and you'll get, oh, okay, so you get tokens. Oh, okay. I misspoke. So when you go to the treat trails, when you go through, you get tokens for your allergy bag. So you kind of compile all of it. It's kind of like getting those tickets, like a Chuck E. Cheese, and you play out the games and everything, and you just take all your tokens to one of the allergy-friendly the redemption locations, and that's when you like cash them all in and everything. So this way, kids don't feel left out. So while they don't get the candy that they're allergic to, they do get something to take to cash in. So they get the experience of going through the lines and all of that. But that's one thing that Disney is very good about, is when it comes to food allergies. So there's one in Liberty Square, and I think this is over by Memento Mori, which is cool. That's one of my favorite gift shops. The one right next to wait, no. Oh, okay. That's over near Sleepy Hollow. Now that I think about it. I think it's right over there in Sleepy Hollow. And the other one is on Main Street, USA. That's in the Emporium. So that's where you can take your tokens and get them redeemed at. But it's interesting. There's a teal pumpkin. That just hit me. It's teal pumpkin. That's right there to indicate the center. So just a little bit of awareness for some people. While I do not have, I don't have necessarily food allergies, but I do have allergies to certain preservatives in foods. So not that fun when you wind up ingesting something and you have an allergic reaction and you
Nope.
can't breathe very well, and then you have to, wind up going to the ER. So,
Oh yeah. So my awareness started with I was talking to my sister. I was working in the youth ministries, the kids for our church, and we had an activity around Halloween and we'd get handed out candy. I was working with the nursery, like the little kids, and I knew for a fact one of my little kids had a peanut allergy, but I hadn't been in charge of getting the treats for the kids. It had been another woman in the ministry, and she hadn't checked. Every piece of candy had peanuts in it, and this kid was 3. And he started going into his candy, and he was about to eat one when I saw and stopped him. And then, like, me and his sister are trying to convince him, "No, everyone else is eating candy, but you can't." And he just was sobbing. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no." After that, I was like, "Yep, I'm done. We gotta find a way to make all these," because it's not his fault. He's freaking
mhm.
3. It's not his fault he can't have peanuts.
Yeah, that's
Our granddaughter has an egg allergy
oh,
and
Yeah.
stuff, and it's hard. It's things she has different allergies. So when we took her to Disney, it was hard. Certain things she couldn't have, and everything else.
mhm. Definitely do not feel that it's a burden to bring up any allergies that you have. Usually, at least at the sit down restaurants, you will get asked like repeatedly if anyone at the table has any allergies or anything like that. The chef will come out and we'll talk to you to find out, if you need more information about certain,
Mhm.
certain foods, how they're prepared. Do not feel bad whatsoever about doing that. That's something that they're used to. And I like the fact that they repeatedly ask you if there's any allergies or anything like that. So I
Yeah.
definitely
And
like to do that.
Oh, she has a peanut allergy too. Yeah, the kid got it's bad.
well, and that's one reason why I've gone so far as to not even to have an option that's not even food.
Mm-hmm. You're safe
Is
that way.
Yeah, so we've done all sorts of things. When the kids were little, we would do we've done um like the little Dollar Tree toys, we've done stickers. This year I'm doing fancier stickers because my kids are older and I'm more aware of that the vinyl stickers are the thing. But slap bracelets, bubbles, um little the little stamps, the little
Mhm.
Halloween stamps,
Yeah.
like, we've done pencils, we've done uh, honestly, I started off with the lame stuff, like the pencils and the stamps, and then I went to the bubbles and, like, the chalk and more fun stuff, and now that my kids are getting older, I'm more aware of, like, what older kids think is cool, so it's the big vinyl stickers that they put on their
Hmm.
water bottles and everything. So, yeah, but just you can Google it easily and find ideas of what to get, and it's really inexpensive. So,
Hmm. Absolutely.
okay, it's not as expensive.
Not,
I shouldn't say really.
well, folks, we're going to switch on over to some theme park construction news. First of all, there's 126 watching between YouTube and X. We sure do appreciate being here. As Tom F. has said, deploy the likes and share this live out. And thanks so much. Not only being an awesome lunch, but being a member as well. Much, much love. Oh, you know what?
An invader on a panel.
You know what? I'm like, what am I gonna do here? Let's see. Oh, we'll do
Drugs.
this one.
And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down. And then Bob Iger is all like, what's going on with my stock?
I like that one.
Yeah, I figured that was the funniest freaking South Park. Well, no, the end of obesity was hilarious. That one was funny. That was really funny. But this one, I'm like, wow, they went there. Well, folks, we have got some parks news here. So coming from WESH2 News. Now let's let this play. Fair use, YouTube. Universal, SeaWorld, Orlando file permits for major theme park projects. So let's go here.
No sound. No sound on it, Lorena.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, shame on me. Hang on. I was sharing audio earlier.
Yeah, we couldn't hear a thing.
Freaking StreamYard.
I mean, StreamYard has been a pain in the butt lately for everyone, I guess.
It's they'll do stuff and they'll deploy stuff because it's like you guys heard the stormtrooper thing.
Yeah, that came through fine.
Yeah. It should have kept that. Usually it's one. And
It started for a while. The thing I actually had to like I had to redo my whole microphone setup because it was interacting with my microphone, which has built-in noise cancellation software, and its noise cancellation software was causing issues with yeah, it wasn't. Sergeant Dad, my husband, spent like 3 hours trying to fix that one night. Great.
Two noise canceling programs don't play nice with each other. It's the same thing as running antiviruses.
Let me try it again here. Let's see.
Theme parks across Central Florida promised continued development, and our Park Central team
Freaking
uncovered multiple
StreamYard.
documents related to some upcoming projects.
Watch News' Christina Watkins explains what could be coming to two major parks.
Between Walt Disney World, SeaWorld Orlando, and Universal Orlando Resort, our theme parks are working nonstop to keep visitors coming back for all of these new exciting attractions. So let's start with Universal Orlando. Take a look. The company submitted permits with the city for a massive construction project. The permit describes the project as demolition of 4.9 acres of theme park site, including retail, show attraction buildings, and associated utilities, also pedestrian facilities and access roadway.
Now, here's the other part. It is not
demolition?
Yes, demolition. Well, first of all, for some folks who are like, oh, is it Rip Ride Rocket? No, they've already dismantled Rip Ride Rocket. That's the construction that's going on right now, which means it's already had its permit. So for folks who don't know, Rip Ride Rocket was this coaster where, you could pick a music track and it would play like through the speakers while you're on the roller coaster. The coaster itself, not all that great. I mean, after going all the way up at 90 degrees and then down, it was kind of pretty much boring after that. Also, when the temperature dropped, like I think if it dropped below like 40, it wouldn't run because the tracks would expand.
Yeah.
So the vehicles didn't fit. So whoever designed that did not keep in mind that it can get cold here in Central Florida, in Orlando.
Is that snow?
No. Nah.
Nope.
Nah, that's not
okay. Because my brain was like, I'm again Mountain West person. My brain's like snow.
Nah, it's just a reflection off here.
Right now, Universal CEO Mark Woodbury says the company is focused on delivering products across the resort.
All right. So this is what's going to get dismantled. Now, last year, I said they are going to put, more than likely, Zelda over here where Poseidon's Fury is. There's so much space over there. The theater, they actually had this theater for, I think it was the Sinbad stunt show or something like that, which is the overflow if you're riding Hagrid's coaster. That's usually where they would put, folks in the line, through there. It's this huge amphitheater. So between the amphitheater and between Poseidon's Fury, which shut down working last year. There's all this space over here in the Lost Continent with shops and all that, 4.9 acres. That's what they're going to wind up reworking. And I still think that's going to be themed to Zelda.
I'm not thinking it's going to be Zelda. I think Zelda's going to be in a big expansion. I'm thinking they're going to do something over here that's going to be. They don't want to pull from Epic in that way. They want to join them. So I'm thinking with Mario over there, Zelda makes more sense.
Yeah,
especially with the murals, with Zelda, and everything else there. I think they're going to do One Piece over here.
I would not be upset if that happened.
That would make more sense.
Now that, Tom, now that you say that, it does make more sense.
Think about One Piece. It's based off a pirate thing, right? They go around the world. You have Mythos still there. They're not going to retheme Mythos, that restaurant, because it's still a good restaurant. So just taking a guess, that's the only IP I could see them doing there. That would make sense with the flow, where they really wouldn't have to change a lot of it.
And it really would make sense to keep Zelda and Mario closer together, to keep no offense, but Zelda is still a kiddie property, in a close proximity to each other.
And if you put One Piece or something like that into the Isles, it can combat what they got going on with the Potterland, because it's still the most popular. Potter is always packed. You know that.
Yep.
You know what, Tom? Now that you talk about it, didn't we look at this last week from Universal Studios Japan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that looks really similar to some of the stuff they were just like, it wouldn't take a lot. Demolition, yeah, but it wouldn't be like fully knocking it down and starting from scratch. It would more like be reskinning it.
They can make a lot of it work, because right now they're what they use a lot of those stores once they did the How to Train Your Dragon movie, right?
Right.
So they're just using it as placeholders. Taking out an amphitheater, remaking it's curious. I mean, it's just a guess, but flow wise, it makes sense.
Going Shogi says that's a lot of characters for one show. Yeah, I mean, if you've seen the Untrainable Dragon show at Epic, it's awesome, and it is full of characters. And I kind of agree with Tom now, because just the water. First of all, there's all the water that they have there.
Yep.
First of all, Lost Continent. It's perfect. The type of space that they're talking about would totally fit for something like this. Especially
whereas Zelda's not known as a water property. There's water concepts.
That water fountain, the one that spits at you, Lorena, and talks to the kids and does stuff.
Yeah.
The kids are still having that popular. I can see that fitting in and just changing voices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it just makes. But hey, I'm not an engineer at a theme park, so what do I know? But I'm just guessing.
Maybe someo's listening and from Universal, and you can just follow Tom's idea.
Yeah. That Kizaru with the lights looks legit, though. Yeah, Japan is always the canary in the coal mine. Back to the Future, pretty much, if they're putting it in Japan, eventually some incarnation makes it, over here. They brought One Piece to Fan Fest nights over at Universal Hollywood. And of course, we got, Super Nintendo World, which that came, parts of that came over from Japan. So I'm not surprised, especially given how popular anime is. And if there's one ding that I really have against Disney, they haven't paid attention to that. The kids' tastes have changed, especially if you are the parents of, like, say, Gen Z and Gen Alpha.
Mm-hmm.
Anime is way more mainstream for them. And worldwide, there is more brand recognition for Nintendo and for anime, or even Hello Kitty for that much, more so than Disney. As someone who became a fan of One Piece through Netflix live action, that would also make sense because it's an active IP drawing in fans from 3 different mediums. Yes, from the manga, from the anime, and the Netflix live action. And Universal already sells and frequently sells out of One Piece merchandise.
I've been trying to get that damn One Piece shirt, a certain one, for my buddy for his birthday. And every time I go to get to that cart, the guy's like, it's gone. We had it back a day ago. And I'm like, I'm going to hit it one of these days.
It is amazing how much anime merchandise flies off the shelves. Like, I have a My Hero Academia backpack. I get stopped for that even in Disney World. Especially Disney security seems to really like it. And here's the theater that I was talking about. So if you're because Hagrid's, usually that line gets really long. They'll usually wind people through here. And the 8th Voyage of Sinbad, which I never got to see. But
I seen that a while ago, a long time ago. It was pretty cool. I mean, the land was cool, but I can see why it dwindled. There's nothing been currently done with it, and kids just don't care. It's sorry, but that's not current unless they revive it. But
it's
kind of
if you look at that, if you look
ahead.
at that space though, like it wouldn't, because again, having done some set design and stuff like that, dude, my theater days really come in handy around you, Lorena. But yeah, as someone who's done set and prop design, that would be more cost effective to tweak into One Piece than to redo into Zelda. And the thing is, right now they're working on that live action Zelda. We've never had a live action Zelda yet. We've always had, but we have a live action One Piece. So they already have a concept and an aesthetic for that. It would make sense to try to adapt and tweak that right now. And then as they're building the aesthetic for Zelda, do that from the ground up with what they're doing in the movie. This is, again, the theater kid in me.
It's the space to have enough water flow there. They can do things and they can make it. And the other thing, aren't they getting rid of the Simpsons land?
That's going to be going away. That's going to be going away eventually. That is a license that, from what I understand, Universal is going to let that go.
Yeah.
And it's all going to be redone. I'm going to kind of miss it because that's the only.
It's fun.
It's fun. It's when The Simpsons was actually funny.
It's fun. Yeah.
Like all the non-PC jokes, everything is still there. I'm going to miss it when it's gone because that's like the last, again, back when The Simpsons was funny, seeing Santa's Little Helper has his own racing game. If you know, you know. But Sam, I agree with you. Poseidon's Fury. One of the things about Poseidon's Fury, Tom, have you ever gone through Poseidon's Fury?
A long time ago.
Yeah, there's this portion where there's this water element that you go through, and it's like a reverse. However the heck they do it, you literally walk through this portal with all this water going through there. It is really cool. Although one of the team members did say in one portion of the attraction, like, kind of reminds you of Zelda, doesn't it? I think he was trolling us, but it's really cool stuff that they have.
Misdirection.
So, yes, totally.
You gotta think. I mean, we're just guessing in the wind here, which is great for conversation.
Oh heck yeah!
Speculation is great for conversation. the thing is, it's like, okay, we know they're getting rid of the Simpsons. We know they're doing this. We don't know what they're actually doing on the other pads in Epic, but Epic seems to be more current. They mixed current and old. So, they're going to want to combine all these parks together and give people a reason to go to each different park.
Yeah.
I don't see them wasting these spaces or getting rid of popular things.
They need a big ticket draw for that area because Epic is so like front loaded right now.
Yeah,
and
but you got Isles of Adventure still. That Harry Potter Hogsmeade is slamming all the time.
Oh yeah, true.
I mean,
Okay, all right.
It's
point
slamming
there.
all the time, and it's like, so, and this is right next to. It's the back way to get into Hogsmeade.
Okay,
So
never
this
mind.
land is right there.
I don't know the geography as well as y'all do.
This land, it's right there. When you go to back way, you get into Hogsmeade right there, right, Lorena? You just walk through it.
Yeah, it's through. Let's see. Wait a minute.
You
It's
come
Lost
through there.
Continent. Yeah, because you go through
But then that
where
might
the
take some
Velocicoaster
pressure.
is, and it goes back, and it routes you through that part in the Lost Continent, and then back into Hogsmeade. That's usually
Yeah.
where they send you after the projection show.
Like if you come
Would
into
it-
Isles and you make a right, you go past
Would
that.
it-
Sorry.
No, but would it take pressure then off of the Harry Potter if you brought in a big ticket IP like One Piece and put it in that space? Because then it would distribute the crowd a little bit more evenly.
It's going to get more people to go to Isles and not just
Yeah.
Epic.
Yeah, more people will go there, but you're also. I don't think it's going to draw away from Harry Potter, and
No,
like
it's a different crowd.
Tom said,
Well, not
it's,
draw away, but distribute. It would. Does that make sense?
like redistribute the amount of people.
Yeah, like everyone's still gonna go hit everything, but they'll be more spread out in doing so.
Put it this way. Right now, Hagrid's motorbike ride is still hard to get on. It's
Yeah.
always has a line. Okay. Compared to the castle ride. I always forget the name of that damn ride.
Forbidden Journey.
Forbidden Journey. Okay.
Mhm.
So that one still has a line. You open this up there, it's going to get more popular when it's first opened up, and it might alleviate some of the thing for Hagrid's because it's not the latest new thing there. Now let's take into consideration that they open up passes for Epic. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Take that in consideration when that happens.
that's gonna be yeah.
You're going to have people go into 3 different parks, and okay, how do we manage this? Are we going to have a multi-tier park, like a 4-pass park, so it includes our water park and our 3 other parks? Or are we going to just do this? So then you take into people that are coming to visit. Like, let's say my brother came down. He's like, hey, I want to do these 3 parks. Well, they get that 3-park ticket. Where are they going to spend most of their time? It all depends on which one they want to pick first, what land they want to see. Now you have a valid reason. Well, hey, I want to do the cartoonish thing and check out video games. Well, you're going to Epic. Okay. Well, now I want to go back to like the showbiz style and go check out like real movie lots. Well, then you just go into the studios. Okay. Well, now I want to go see, more like dinosaurs and stuff like that. Well, now there's only place for that is Isles.
Yeah.
So you got 3 different things, and being that it's called Isles of Adventure, it kind of fits with the pirate theme more.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking about
Yeah.
because it's these lands that you have, but adventure is the whole thing that binds them all together. Seuss
I
Land,
like
that's an adventure. Marvel
And you gotta walk
Superhero
over-
Island.
They're
that's-
separated. They're
yeah,
separated. They're little islands.
they're separated. I would say that if they did put One Piece over there, you do have an additional draw. Would it affect what's going on in Hogsmeade there? More than likely not, because how, I want to say claustrophobic, but it's true. Because it's such a small area and there's always just so many freaking people because it is so like concentrated. It's like you can hardly move
If you
go
took
anywhere.
if you took Hogsmeade and you dropped it into the Paris area would have enough for 2 to 3 Hogsmeades in
Yes.
space.
They've had to
Yeah.
infinitely expand the size. Like Diagon Alley, that's about maybe 3 times?
Yeah.
2.5 to 3 times larger than Hogsmeade.
Part of me wishes they'd been able to put them all together in one place, but at the same time, maybe splitting it up is better because then, again, you're splitting up all the Harry Potter fans. It's really funny when you start talking about these things. You're like, oh, there is so much logistics to it. There are so many moving
There
parts.
is.
I think sometimes we turn into floating heads and we like, it would be better this way, but we don't think about the logistics of it.
Yeah, you know what, going Shogi, I'm thinking about this. Wherever they put One Piece makes no difference. Either way, they're getting my savings, and I get it. And Krista Joe, yeah, they added a land area and a show for One Piece sold. There are so many anime conventions that are here in town, especially the holiday Matsuri at the end of the year. And more often than not, they will have after hours events over at Universal.
Well, and the anime draw really kicked up with the millennial crowd. It's not even just Gen Z and Gen Alpha. I remember when I took Japanese in high school, and I was the only kid in my Japanese class that was not taking Japanese just so they could read manga and anime in the original print. I was taking it because I'm lame, Japanese poetry.
Not lame.
I'm a different kind of nerd. My husband's the massive anime person in our relationship. I'm not against it. I'm just not into it the way he is. But yeah, with this, you would get millennials, Gen Z, Gen Alpha. You could get generational capture at this point.
Absolutely.
Either way, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
I'm excited about Zelda,
and I'm waiting for them to update the Epic Preview Center. Because you know that map's going to get dropped and they're going to put the construction there. They're just not going to tell nobody until you walk in and you see it.
And that's the thing. They're going to be building this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Bio Reconstruct's going to be doing flyovers. We can see what it is, but Universal will not acknowledge what it is until like maybe a month or so ago before they do team member previews, because they are very good at that. They will not acknowledge it, but they will just you see the construction happening.
Well, when they announced the live action How to Train Your Dragon, I'm like, y'all are dumb. You missed the boat on that one. You're so far behind the 8 ball. Like that's what I was thinking internally. I'm so glad. Well, I'm admitting it now, but then they launched it the same time as they launched the Isle of Berk, pretty much. And those animatronic like dragons, I'm like, nope, never mind. Take my money. You win.
It was the coolest freaking thing when I went to see it. Because Camera Girl was there with me, and she grew up on How to Train Your Dragon. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to see exactly what she does. I was like, forget her expression. As soon as I looked up and I saw, Hiccup riding Toothless, I'm like, how the heck are they doing that? And Camera Girl, these kids lost their crap when they saw it. Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you did there.
I want a life-size Toothless. It's not practical, but I want one.
Go and Shogi for another $5. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Going Shogi for another $5 says, I grew up on anime before Toonami on Cartoon Network. My sister and I would buy bootleg subtitled Flame of Recca VHS online. I knew a lot of people who did that. Like, I grew up on anime too. So some of the people who were really, really into it did the same thing that you and your sister did. They would get the bootleg videos. I remember for example, Samurai Champloo is one of my favorite animes. It has a lo-fi hip-hop soundtrack by Shinichiro Watanabe that is freaking awesome. I love that. But yeah, Toonami made it really popular, like into a block. But yeah, I totally get you on that. I watch so much darn anime. I did before in the past, but yeah, now because you have like Crunchyroll, you have Netflix, and you have these streaming services, it's much easier to get a hold of. So thank you so much again for that. Go and Shogi. Zen Water says, I literally cried when meeting Toothless. Part of that was because he reminded me of my late cat, Jet. Black, green eyes, very sharp teeth. You know what, Zen? You are not alone. That Toothless meet and greet, when I first saw that and I saw like the Toothless puppet that they have, because we had talked about that, how different the Toothless puppet would behave. And it's like you could hear him breathe and how, and how he responds and everything. And I had a black cat, Kayla, which in my early YouTube days, you would see her all the time. She was an old girl, but she had green eyes. Pull her ears back, she looked like Toothless. So I totally get you. Totally get you with that. Still pissed she wouldn't let me put a rhinestone collar on her. She freaked out. I'm like, no, I want to put the rhinestone, because she was all black. She's just beautiful, beautiful silken black coat. I'm like, how come you won't let me put the rhinestone choker on you? You look great. It was like, no, I don't think so. Don't forget the team member playing Hiccup is also amazing. It's a dynamic duo meeting Hiccup and Toothless together. Yes, what's even funnier? When Rough Nut comes over and he's like, hey, buddy, I gotta hype up my best friend. I have a video of that. He just comes over.
They did a great job with casting in the parks. I am really impressed with the videos I've been watching, because I watch what you put up, Lorena, and yeah, they did a good job.
They did so good. We met Astrid, and I had like I had my Oakley sunglasses on. She's like, oh, I see your goggles on. Are you a dragon rider? I'm heck yeah. She was absolutely dead on, like in the movies, and it was just amazing. Yeah, Hiccup is awesome. They're all I could sit there and I could watch that Toothless and Hiccup meet and greet and would not get bored. And then sometimes Astrid and Stormfly will show up, so you get like a double meet and greet, which is really cool. Yes, Rough Nut and Tough Nut are hilarious. Yes, that whole land is absolutely amazing. I love it. So another update, which of course I am not happy about, but for the sake of news, we're going to bring it up. Monsters Inc. land news update: construction permits and rumors for Hollywood studios. Now, for those who do not know, or if you've been under a rock, you just don't pay attention to news like this, Muppets 3D is no more. They're keeping the theater, and I think they're going to put something Monsters Inc. related to the theater, but for the most part, the demolition is still going on. This new Monstropolis area will feature a new show and a large indoor suspended roller coaster. That's the door coaster that's been rumored about for like over a decade. So the Muppets are going to go over to the Rock and Roller Coaster. Let's reclassify that. Not the Muppets per se, but it's going to be Electric Mayhem who is going to be over at the Rock and Roller Coaster. So it's not going to be Kermit unless he showed, well, no, I was going to say he's a manager. Yeah,
he might show up as it.
He might. Yeah, he might. Yeah.
I'm wishing them luck with this, because if they don't pull this through, they got to bring their A game on this. They got to figure something out, because the reskin and stuff that they've done has not turned out great.
Nah, I mean, with this, they're replacing, and I always make this comparison. They're replacing the Muppets, which is a classic, okay, with Monsters Inc. When was the last time anybody even thought about Monsters Incorporated? The first movie did good. The rest of them didn't do so well. So you're putting in an IP that is not really all that popular. As in
the
contrast to
left
say,
sucks too. Sorry.
yeah, it had its time. But if you would have said we're gonna replace this with Bluey, okay, I get it. Bluey's popular. Bluey's popular not only with like little kids. I've watched episodes of that show. They're hilarious. No matter, especially if you're a parent, it's so funny.
Yeah. Yes, and yes. Baby Cuteness has a little stuffed Bluey, and she calls him Booty. She calls her Booty. She can't say Bluey, but yeah. Do you like Bluey? Yeah, we love Bluey in this house.
Freaking love Bluey, but they didn't do that because they didn't give the rights to it. So for some reason, they think Monsters Inc. is going to do it. So here's where they have the former, Muppets Courtyard. See, now that's like.
Are they getting rid of the restaurant Rizzo's altogether, or are they just retheming it?
They are getting rid of it. They're going to knock it down, and supposedly they are going to do Harryhausen's. So I don't know if they'll knock the complete building down or if they just strip it to the bare bones infrastructure and rebuild up from that. I'm not sure, but here's Rizzo's Pizza. I like that better when it was Pizza Planet. But there's Gonzo's Royal Flush. So these are the bathrooms like up top here. And then here's Rizzo's Pizzeria. And then over here is the theater for Muppets 3D. They're keeping the theater to do some monster show, I guess like the Laugh Floor or something like that.
They just put money into that theater, so not that long ago, remember?
Yeah, because they redid the seats. Because that's what we're saying. Because I think Marvin was like, I don't see them shutting it down because they just had the seats renovated. And I said, yeah, I kind of understand that. But at the same time, if you look at, let me go back. Where did that go? Daggone it, got stuck. If you go back to this concept art, okay, because this was the original concept art. And what I said, and what a lot of other people said, is where else is this going to go if not over where the Muppets Courtyard is? And some people were like, well, they could put it over there by the launch bay. I'm like, no. The Little Mermaid show is over there that they just redid. You can't drop a whole land over there to this particular scale. And especially looking at this theater, this is the Muppets Theater. Okay, no matter how they tried to change it with the concept art. This is the Muppets Theater over here. Here's Gonzo's Royal Flush over here.
It still looks like the same Royal Flush, and some of it. They just got rid of where the old Muppets store was when you exited in that big area behind it.
Mm-hmm. They'll probably keep the bathrooms over here. Here's the fountain. And if you go over here on this side to the left where I'm pointing at, so I don't know what's going to go here, but here is where Mama Melrose Mama Melrose restaurant. That's really salty. That's like barely a step above Olive Garden. I will die on that hill. I had
some okay snacks there. That's about it.
It's okay if you're in a bind. It's not bad. I'm
gonna miss the little Christmas store.
Yeah, the Christmas store is gone.
That's the snowman that was there. That was cool.
Snowman, that's gone. So they're gonna put Harryhausen's right here, or so it appears to be. But they're going to put Harryhausen's there. I'm thinking that that's where I know where this is. Remember the studio? Oh my gosh. Remember where they had the Muppet store?
Yeah.
I think that's where this is.
That's what I'm saying. That whole Muppet store thing, that's what they're going to demolish.
Yeah. So they're probably going to put it over here. And then
you can also think they're going to try to save money.
Mm-hmm. So that's what that's what they're going to do. Would have been fun to have a chaotic coaster and it's all Stitch's fault. Yeah, see, that would have worked because Stitch is a freaking moneymaker. Has been for like 20 some. Stitch is on the level of the Fab Five. And it totally was not intended to be at all. So Stitch just moves merchandise. See, that would have been great. But, you know. Hey, 70s Mandalorian. Yeah, you had a chance to do something original here. And I don't see how this is really gonna fly. But
so does Disney have a park right now that doesn't have construction?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Wait, construction's finished at Epcot. So there's that. So it's no longer
okay, but there's still rides down, right?
Which one?
I thought there was rides not working at Epcot still.
Pro was talking about how there's been technical glitches with some stuff. Yeah. I don't remember what though.
But none of it is related to, like, say, any recent renovation. Like, there isn't any construction that's going on over there.
There's not the walls like in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, there used to be.
It used to be Walcott. Used to be Walcott.
Yeah. I got used to it. I'm like, where the heck is this stuff gonna go? And they still have it up. Let's see.
That's just heartbreaking. That's so heartbreaking.
Look at this.
They took out the fountain?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's in Bob Iger's third shower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's showering with Miss Piggy.
I'm so angry about that.
They took out the Miss Piggy fountain. That had so many sight gags in it because she's like dressed up like the Statue of Liberty.
It's Miss Piggy.
And you see like the rats who have magnets are trying to get the coins out of the fountain. But it was such a
my gosh, I love the rats. I love Rizzo. I love Rizzo and his peeps.
It was great.
Oh my gosh. I love my favorite Christmas Carol will always be Muppet Christmas Carol.
I watch that every year. We watch every year on this channel. Every year. Muppet Christmas Carol is awesome.
I will be here with you on that.
But yeah, they've torn up the courtyard. But the city facades have remained. They will be reimagined as Monstropolis city facades. Miss Piggy fountain in front of Muppet Vision has been completely removed, but the water connections appear to have been retained. So they're probably going to put a new fountain there. So courtesy of BioReconstruct, because BioReconstruct is doing God's work out here. So as you can see, yeah, look at that. That is so freaking heartbreaking.
Hopefully they don't damage those water hookups and they still work.
These are the same people who installed the track upside down.
I know.
Well, let's hope that those people were canned and they got replaced with somebody with an engineering.
From your lips to God's ears.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just like, how can you put a track in upside down under concrete?
Easy. You put it in upside down.
Did somebody not look at it?
Didn't have an arrow pointing up or down, so they figured, what the hell?
I can't. Muppet signs are still there, but Muppet Vision sign has been covered. Yeah, they've covered that up. The small Gonzo that was hanging from the clock face recently. I can't. Splash fountain is nowhere to be found, right? Fountains are doomed. Yeah, the Fountain of Nations. That's what it was. The Fountain of Nations. When you walked into Epcot,
I know.
Before the Bellagio fountains. Okay, there was the Fountain of Nations,
I
and they would have,
know. It
remember
makes
the
me so
water
mad.
and the music. That's, as a kid, as a budding engineer nerd, I was just like, how were they timing the water to the music, and how this eventually I found out later on, that it was all programming, whatever. But I was like deconstructing that every time that I saw that. Oh, but speaking of the Bellagio, the same people involved with the Bellagio fountain worked on the fountains for Epic Universe.
Not surprised.
Just saying.
It
Just
feels
saying.
like Universal knows how to hire competent people.
Yeah, they got him because Disney let him go, and they snapped
Yup.
him up and said, "You're not
It's
getting him back."
amazing.
What about the blessing of space? They kind of forgot about that,
I know,
They
right?
did. Wait, what track was installed upside down? Okay, so over at Rise of the Resistance, okay, the ride vehicles that you're in, that is on a trackless system, which means it's not running on at least a track that you can see. It's
Can I explain this?
Yeah,
So
please.
I got a simple way to explain it.
Okay.
If you remember the old Christmas things where they had an ice skating pond and the magnets, and there was a magnet on top and there was a magnet underneath, and they'd go around in different things. It's based off of that principle. That's what they call trackless. So the magnets would connect it and they can go in different places. They put those things underneath that are the actual guidance tracks upside down.
Yeah.
Wait, so like the magnets were reversed so the polarities didn't work, or was that it?
Sort of.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
I just heard because I've heard people mention it. I didn't know the details of how they messed up.
And how they did that. Just like, you mean to tell me, and not before the concrete was poured, okay?
They had to pull it all up and fix that.
They had to pull it all up. It was just
You had one job.
Yeah, one job. And you could
One job.
Goodness. So yeah, they've got the concept art
I
up.
feel that term trackless is a misnomer because there is actually a track. It's just you can't see it.
Yeah.
Connected by magnets. So
And it is. But I would say, from your garden variety person, we'll say the UI makes people think it's trackless.
Yeah.
I would say that. I would say that. I don't like trackless. It gives them too many excuses for rides to be down. Trackless can be done, but it's in the design. It's in the failure rates of the design, which is what's going on. Because it's not like say for example, Tower Terror. That attraction is rarely down. They've got a trackless system in there. It's an older one, but they've got a trackless system in there. Hardly would ever go down. Also, a lot of times when rides are quote unquote down, it's usually now more often than not, it's not a mechanical thing. It's a staffing thing, but they won't tell you that.
Huh. Hey, the Army pulls that game too.
They will not tell you that.
No, I feel like there's a lot of places that'll do that. They'll be like, "Oh, it was this or this," but it was just really staffing.
It's like, remember when and eventually I'll go back to that. When I would go to the park, as soon as the Magic Kingdom opened, everybody knows this. As soon as the Magic Kingdom opens, usually there's three choices. You're either going to go right to go to Splash Mountain. You're either headed to Space Mountain, or you're going to Splash Mountain, or you're going to Pirates of the Caribbean. Why is Pirates of the Caribbean down when the park just opened?
Yeah. Well, so we figured that out when we were kids and we were at Disneyland. And so one morning, we first things first went straight to Indiana Jones because we hadn't done that yet. My mom let my teenage brothers and I go by ourselves because our younger siblings weren't interested. And we hit Indy and there was no line because everyone was everywhere else. And we were able to do Indy 3 times in a row without being in line. like having to wait. It was great. But yeah, like that's just dumb. It's so dumb. And I feel like why are they having staffing issues? Are they having staffing issues because maybe they're not treating their quality employees very well and they're getting pixie duster, no offense, softies who don't know how to put in a hard day's work?
They have had
Like,
staffing issues since they let everybody go in COVID.
Yes.
why?
And they Mr. Bradley Ron brings this up about the other inclusion key, and that last key, and that just totally destroyed people from wanting to actually work there of any kind of
Yeah.
ethical standpoint.
Yeah.
It's hard. You cut hours enough that people can't make a wage, right? It doesn't matter what their wage is minimum to. All they got to do is cut the hours. If okay, we want to give you a raise, but we're going to cut your hours. You're still making the same amount of money you did before you got your boost, but you're working less hours for it. And there's a reason they're still doing reservations.
Yeah. Well, and
honestly,
honestly,
it's to keep their workforce cost down.
And data mining.
Yeah.
Their reputation of exploiting college students is now ubiquitous. It was already because again, a theater kid in college. I was a theater major before I changed my majors later on, but I was a theater major. I went to regional like the regional college competition, collegiate theater competition, and Disney was there recruiting, Universal was there recruiting, everyone was there recruiting, and nobody wanted to talk to the Disney recruiters. At first I was like about to head over there. Everyone's like, no, they don't treat you as well. You get treated better over at Universal. Like, and that was 14 years ago. And it was a pretty well-known fact, at least in my region, that you were going to get a better gig at Universal than you were going to get at Disney. So
yeah, that was notorious. Two of my godbrothers went through the college program and they were completely disillusioned. But also I remember going to the parks and some folks from the college program were there. As a matter of fact, this was years ago when my sister was with me, camera girl, and they were just like, yeah, you really don't get paid very well. And tons of the stories they were telling. I'm like, wow. So it's not, before it was, they didn't pay you well, but at least you got Disney on your resume at that particular time. Before the Disney brand perception, the bottom dropped out of it. So it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I work for peanuts, but hey, I have Disney on my resume. So they kind of hold that over your head. But one thing that that I do remember, especially when it comes to the pandemic, because then again, I moved down here at I would say I was in the pandemic refugee wave where people were just like, okay, we're getting out, especially the People's Republic of Pennsylvania. Okay. I was no, we're getting out. You couldn't get a U-Haul for like, I think weeks from like, I want to say from like May through the rest of the summer, because the Christmas before, that's when a lot of people did exploratory trips down here, and they were looking at housing and they were looking at apartments and they were looking at all this other stuff. And then when I came down here in 2021, all you saw at the DMV out of state plates.
Yep.
It
I've
was
heard that.
such a huge influx of people who came in from the north. And one of the things that I had been told when I got down here, first of all, Universal did not lay any of their people off. They didn't. They kept everyone. Disney, not only did they fire people by email, that's the other thing that happened. And I mean, we're talking people who had been there for decades. Okay, that's how they got rid of them. Also, remember the shot mandate?
Yep. Yeah.
They had the shot mandate, you know, as well. So what started to happen and what I started to see is that, remember, it seemed like the Universal team members could care less what the heck you think about the guests. It's like it switched. Now the Universal team members seem more like the old school Disney.
Heck,
even including
SeaWorld
how
team
they
members
look.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
same thing. It's like it
And
totally
you know
switched.
what? They probably were. They probably were. Or they were probably trained by someone who knew the Disney difference.
And that's what happened, because I kid you not, when I applied for a job at Universal, I had to acknowledge appearance standards. This cracked me up. I open it up and I'm looking and I'm reading and I'm just like, this is Disney's appearance standards. So whoever probably did work at Disney, they brought the same appearance standards to Universal.
Hey,
you notice over at Universal, you
not?
hardly see any tattoo sleeves, do you? Go to Disney, a lot of people with tattoos, which I'd never seen before. Before it was, if you had a tattoo, you had to either cover it with long sleeves or use
makeup.
My wife had to use theatrical makeup for the one.
Yeah, that's what they will do. So it looks like the standard switch. Whoever people got let go from Disney, whoever they were, they came over to Universal and brought the standards. And it is not a coincidence how they switched. I've never been to Universal where I've heard, team members barking at people. Like around the fireworks time over at Disney, the way some of those cast members treat people is just...
That to me is so heartbreaking. I wonder, so when did the college program start? Did it start when Disney was still around?
It started, I think, like in the 80s. I want to say 80s to 90s, because I knew some people that was what they wanted to do. So even then, it was just like, yeah, they didn't pay you very well, but
you got
Disney you still got
the Disney skill set.
Exactly.
It meant something. It meant something when you moved on. And that's I think the thing that Disney is missing right now. If they could retain the high quality college recruits that they're getting and move them into bigger full-time positions, that would make a huge, but they're not retaining them. They're treating them like, no offense, slave labor. And
yes,
it's just not worth it now.
That's exactly it. In the college program, you have to stay in Disney housing.
Mm-hmm.
They do charge
yes,
you for
you
that.
do.
Your uniforms, all that stuff, they charge you for. You don't get park discounts, from what I understand.
The more my friends started talking about it, it really sounded like those old mining towns, like the old coal mining towns.
It is.
And I'm sitting there going, I thought we got rid of indentured servitude. What the crap? Why does Disney have that?
Go on YouTube and look up videos about the college program. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, it's not the trade-off that it used to be, So when they brought it back, because they brought it back, I think after the pandemic, they brought it back, but it's still, it wasn't the same. But to kind of wrap this up, remember in that concept art, we saw the building, it's a big M, the Monsters Inc. building. Well, that's where the door coaster is going to be. So they're getting into the parking lot right here. So that's where they're putting that. So they're taking out, and I think Pro had talked about this too, that there's all this parking.
Yeah, that's
so now
like
they're gonna
parking, I thought.
Yeah, there's cast parking, so they're gonna push into that. I mean, it's not like they need cast parking for the Galactic Star Cruiser. I can't believe they still have to sign up for that.
Oh my gosh. But that's such a freaking joke. Oh, I could go off on that for like a day.
Okay. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's nuts. They should have just did, well, number one, keeping it, original trilogy, a little bit of prequel trilogy. But if they would have kept it for the idea of basically it's a Star Wars convention 24/7, 365, which I thought it was going to be, and they didn't do that.
And then they were going to have, I think, like every couple of days, they were going to have a Han and Leia wedding was one of the ideas that had been pitched and then was, like, canned right away. It was supposed to be, like I was like, "Dude, I would have paid extra money to, like, go see Han and Leia's wedding."
You know, if they would have made it more affordable to people,
Oh, yeah.
it would have
Affordable
done
too,
a
yeah.
lot better. And if they would have kept it within the older movies, it would have done so much.
Totally.
It would still be rolling.
It's like
Oh,
you
heck yeah.
guys could have, instead of shutting it down, could have rethemed it to a day
Yes.
experience. You
Yep.
know, I'd pay for my dinner with Vader. I'd pay for that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, could you
Well, and then
picture having the dinner with the table where Vader and all the bounty hunters were around, then Han and Leia come with Chewie, and you're just one of in the middle of that?
That would be so
That would be
cool!
awesome. The
But
Cloud
that's
City, the Cloud City
Yeah.
dinner table.
That's a
Cloud
little
City would have
worse.
been a great vibe for it because you could have still done, like, the projectors and things like that. They could have kept what they had, rethemed it for Cloud City. Oh my gosh, yes.
You could have even had the seedy district in Coruscant. You could have that, the
Oh,
Opera
heck
House
yeah.
in Coruscant. But the reason why is because Kathleen Kennedy basically said, are you going to make this for 50-year-old white guys? You're going to get with the future and you're with the sequels. So a lot of Imagineers who thought that they were going to be able to, bring all this stuff to life that they've been used to seeing with the originals, with the original trilogy, go and do this other crap.
What KK seems to forget is the kids all watch all the movies. They see one and they want to go back and see the series. They're available. They're going to watch them. So there's still going to be a draw. It's a perfect entry point to have somebody drawn in and get into the whole thing of it. That's what happened when we were kids. Why wouldn't it happen then?
Yeah,
I started watching Star Wars when I was 2 years old.
I was 7 years old and got to see Star Wars before they called it A New Hope. It wasn't even in the titles.
Yeah, I'm young and compared to you.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, it's just a mess. But one of the things that they did not realize, and this is very true, most of the merchandise that sells is not sequel trilogy merchandise. It is either original trilogy or Baby Yoda. That's it. Anything that's original trilogy gets snapped
Baby Yoda's dying out though.
But Baby Yoda is so popular with little kids.
Yeah,
it is, but it's losing grip with the normies. Like my kids still like Baby Yoda, but it's not as big as it was with the kids who are not in Star Wars families. I would consider us a Star Wars family. Kids who are normie families, it's really not. It doesn't have the same traction as it used to.
Yeah, it doesn't, and a lot of that is is Disney's fault for forgetting, because except 40's Mandalorian, what they forgot is the 50-year-olds are the ones with money. Let's go back to before the dark times, before Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh my gosh, yes.
She goes back way, but she just wasn't in control.
Yeah, she was, kind of under the dirt, still fetching.
She was a coffee getter at one point.
There was a thing.
She could still be vetoed.
Yes. We're like, we're not listening to what you have to say, Kathleen. There was a thing called Star Wars weekends.
Yep.
I think every weekend in May, because I got mad because I kept missing it. It was like the biggest Star Wars convention every weekend in May.
Awesome.
It was, people were like dressed up, parents dressed up, kids dressed up, grandkids dressed up. You can't do that freaking now because they won't let you do it. But it was huge. There was so much money to be made, so many experiences, to do. It was a blast. Paid for mostly by the 50-year-olds who had money, because they passed it down to their kids and to their grandkids. And it was this huge thing. that would happen. As a matter of fact, the artwork behind me, you're not gonna see Minnie as slave Leia again anytime soon. I got that during Star Wars weekends. I grabbed one of the last ones that they had, because when I got there, it was at the end of Star Wars weekends and it just wrapped up. I was like,
Professor X is being a pervert again.
Yeah. Something else. But it was so much fun, and the atmosphere was different. Now it's just like Star Wars.
Well, and there's not the enthusiasm for it. Like, the people are holding on, the diehards like me, it's because we have enough of the OG good Star Wars that we're just gonna live in that little headcanon world and ignore the crap. But you don't have the momentum.
They killed an IP that was basically almost unstoppable.
Yes.
Yeah, they did, because they didn't want to listen to.
They did the one thing they did. They went political driven with it, and
I don't mind strong female characters. I mind Mary Sue's.
that's
Gina
the
Carano's
thing.
character, Cara Dune, fabulous.
Yeah. The
I would
thing
have
was,
watched a show of that.
they could have changed Rey a little bit
Oh,
and
yeah.
made her a really good character.
Yeah, but
Well, and
instead, they
why
hand
did
her.
she have to be an orphan from a desert planet? Like, can you change her background just a smidge, honeys? Can you know what? Honestly,
wait a second. I wanted to know, like, okay, her parents, they're Palpatine.
There's a cool way to do that before it came, because this is how much of a nerd I am. Before they announced how it happened, there was all these fan theories, because there's a character in one of the Star Wars games that is helping Luke Skywalker do some stuff, and he's married, and then he disappears, and the hypothesis was that because he was a former Imperial and so was his wife, that he was actually Palpatine's illegitimate son. And when he found out, he and his wife went into hiding when they found out they were expecting to keep their baby away from the Empire. Like, all of the fans came up with far better theories than they had. Like, there were doing the whole clone thing was crap. These were some really legit. And I'm sitting there going, all you had to do was go online and farm the fan theories and you would have done better.
Because those things are done by true fans, people who actually care about the IP. But unfortunately, instead of, granted, whatever gripe you got to have about Eisner, Disney hasn't run the same since. At that point in time, with Michael Eisner, they were focused on being partners with George Lucas and making bona fide money off the Star Wars brand. And not only that, but Eisner actually giving Imagineering the support and respect to let them do what they do best. You bring in Iger, who is a merchandise guy, who is basically a weatherman for the most part, has zero pretty much respect for Imagineering. And that's where you get the destruction that started to happen. So he did. He really, really did. Because, man, some of the best times at Disney was under Robert Iger. No, sorry. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I said that. Under Michael Eisner, truly. I mean, it used to be shut up and take my money when it came to merchandise. It just it just so totally did. Yeah, they do. They do. We've never been talked to like that. And the fact that they let these people talk to the fans that way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, making fun of theory? Dude, that guy he should have been canned, and he's still working for them. I can't, there's so many fans who are still, seething over that, because there was that was completely out of line to go after theory like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us diehard fans are rather protective of theory.
I mean, I have my disagreements with some of his stuff, but for the most part, having Luke Skywalker come back, it's like I totally understood his reaction.
Mm-hmm.
I had no problem with his reaction. I said that totally makes sense given his story about how he likes Luke Skywalker. But the fact that you had Lucasfilm employees coming after the fans, that was when the line got freaking crossed.
Oh,
And
heck yeah.
that had never happened before.
And then
But
turning against Gina, like it was the back to back. Like they attacked Theory and then turned on Gina, and we're like, "Now I'm dead. I'm done. I'm nope, not doing this." It's yeah.
Yeah. But to move on to the last thing for the show that I'm going to show you guys. Of course, I thought this was funny. Mother Nature trolls Disney. Rivers of America refilled at Magic Kingdom by rainfall. Now, y'all have heard me talk about just the crap that they were going to do. And I'm just like, what about the nature that's there? What's going to happen when the summer monsoon rains come pouring down?
I was talking about this to somebody the other day. I don't want to reveal who, but we were talking about it. I'm like, they picked the months, the most rainy months. Why wouldn't they leave this open till after Christmas, make a crap ton of money on it, and then do it right after the rainy season?
Yep. But then again, this just proves you have people in Burbank who have no concept of what the weather is here. Why would you start something like this during
you picture if a hurricane came in?
That's the other thing. Where's the water?
Have they ever been there? Like, part of me, this makes me think they've never been on site.
Well, that was another reason why. I mean, talk about Chapek all you want, but one of the things he wanted to do, was to bring a Wing of Imagineering to Orlando for that specific reason. Because how can you design stuff for a park that you're not physically there? The weather in Orlando is very, very different from the weather in Anaheim or in Burbank. And I've lived in both places. I've lived in LA, and of course I live here, in Orlando. In LA, the sun goes down, the temperature drops by like 20, 30 degrees. In Orlando, when the sun goes down, it's still hot and freaking muggy. Our water table, is different. The reason why
3 feet under the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. Come on now. That's the reason why the
Magic Kingdom
was such an amazing project. What they were able to terraform, because when you go to the Magic Kingdom,
years of water there.
Yeah.
Okay, they drain it once in a while, work on the track, but 50 freaking years.
50 years.
Just saying.
Well, like you need, in a waterlogged environment, you need a place for the water to go naturally. Otherwise, it's going to start going places you don't want it to go, or you're going to have to spend a lot of infrastructure in managing it. You need to have runoff because hey, Arizonan, we have deserts, and people think, oh, desert, no water. Yeah, no water except for when we get monsoons and flash floods, and we get these dry ditches that you've seen forever are all of a sudden raging rivers. And people have started in Arizona building in those dry riverbeds. I'm like, all it takes is a 10, 15-year flood and your stuff is destroyed. And these developers from California came in and started doing it anyway. Sure enough, we had some significant monsoons and their stuff was trashed. I'm like, you have to know your topography.
You totally do.
I thought this whole project that they started doing this, I'm like, you're screwing with something that was well planned out, and you're missing something. And I can't believe Swift Todd gave them the go ahead. That to me is like, okay, you whose hand got greased? Because that to me is just like, this doesn't make sense. Okay, fine, you want to retheme the island. Don't get rid of that water feature. Don't try rerouting it. It's there for a friggin' reason. This man thought about it besides just a ride.
I find this hilarious because we talk about every time that I would go out there into Tom Sawyer Island, of course, there was so much wildlife that's there, that's been there ever since, they started doing development in the late 60s. It's just like, where are they going to go?
It's
not going to be easy to get them
Path of
out of
least
there. It's part of their
resistance.
habitat.
And all the other things, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't part of the land designed to drain off into that area?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was supposed to be natural runoff to help with water management. So Disney Plus started putting in these like little documentaries on how different things were made.
Mm-hmm.
And back when we had Disney Plus, I watched the one about where they were talking about building this. And that's exactly was part of Walt's intention, was that this would be a natural watershed way to get excess water managed in a non-detrimental and cost-effective way, so that they wouldn't have to deal with it ending up in areas where it could cause damage. And they're getting rid of it.
It just, oh my gosh.
So my adage to WDW, will drain wallet, is actually affecting them.
Yes. Because it's like you're behind the 8 ball, even further than
like,
that.
What?
Yeah.
How are they going to make sure this doesn't happen again?
They're not going to be able to. That's the problem.
They're not.
Unless they stop working on it now, wait until after the rainy season to drain it again, then continue there. They're just going to be, it's Groundhog Day for them.
Yeah, it pretty much is. But to add, it's like SIFTide gives the approval, but it doesn't mean that Disney has to start construction right away. Did you notice how fast they got rid of the Liberty Bell? It's like they couldn't wait to just shut it all down so they could immediately start doing construction. And
part of it seems like they were like trying, we need to show face that we have an answer to what Universal's doing.
That's right.
And
we need to look busy.
Honestly, they would have been better off going, we don't care what you're doing over there. We got this. We'll develop this in a different way and have it done. This looks bad.
It does.
I just find it funny. The wildlife doesn't care. See, this is what I'm counting on right here. So if there's a silver lining to Disney's headaches, it's that the wildlife seems to be having a field day. Storks, herons, and other birds, especially ahingas, have been spotted wading through the muck and snacking on stranded fish as the water levels rise and fall. It's like a buffet. They're like, we do not have to work for this.
wait till the snakes start coming.
Oh yeah. They're opening up a can of worms I don't even think they understand.
Yeah, it's a panic decision. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, again, I'm not no engineer, but it's common sense. They don't know Florida. They don't know Florida weather. They don't know what's weather patterns. They didn't give two craps about it. They didn't bother looking. It's like, what are you doing? You know this is the worst season to do this. Just wait until after November. You could have let it go through Christmas, made a crap ton of money on it. As soon as Christmas ended, went to town.
But even that is just ignoring the fact of this is never going to be viable. They need a place for that water, and they have not thought that far in advance.
They haven't. I mean, their designs, they still have a river running around the back of it, but it's not the same. It's not enough for the runoff. They're going to have to put in such a drainage system that it's going to have to go. If it's not done,
they're going to have pumps. They're going to have all sorts of stuff.
You're going to have people using their strollers as flotation devices.
This is,
Or they're just going to have to shut it down during a certain season.
Because those cars going around the track, if they're low in that grade there, guess what? They're now boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I tell you, it's really funny, haha. With the rainy season, as soon as you pump water out, guess what? It's going back in, and it's not like it rains one day and it's over. No. During hurricane season, it rains the same time every day, and it's
You could almost set your clock by it.
Yes, and it's not a little sprinkling of rain either. It's just like, think of, like those planes that dump all the water on the wildfires, stuff like that, and it's going sideways at the same time.
I was at Universal with Barry Place and his family. We're walking around, and I'm like, guys, it's going to rain. He's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I said, no, you don't understand. We're going to be walking through 3 to 4 inches of water in the matter of 3 minutes.
Yes.
And he goes, what? And we got it. And he's like, I can't believe this. And I'm like, he goes, well, they got to work on their gutters. I said, you don't understand. This will drain. It comes down that hard and fast that it has to catch up. Okay.
So that's one thing that with Arizona we totally get, is because the water comes down so hard and fast, it can't absorb it that quickly. That's why we're a desert, but we still get flash flooding and mudslides and things like that. It's because the ground can only take so much at a time. And monsoons are monsoons. We have the same monsoon problem in Arizona, even though we have less water than y'all have. And it's because when it comes down quick and heavy,
and your ground's so dry you can't absorb it as fast.
No. And so we actually have it worse in some ways than you guys do, because at least your ground knows what to do with water.
Yep.
We've got clay.
Yeah.
PR Guy says, wasn't this designed and engineered by the same guy who did the Panama Canal? There's no way they have anyone with that big of a qualification on the team now. Yeah, I would look into that because that would actually make sense. If you've been over in this area, it's done perfectly, and not only that, with all that water, it's like a heat sink, when it's hot, then of course, when it rains, having the rain go off there, because you know what? Yeah, they cannot keep the water out of Tomorrowland. I have never seen that happen before. Now when it rains, there's water everywhere. So I don't know what's going on with Disney's sewer system. I mean, they already had to have.
Oh, I guarantee you they went in there and messed with something.
Because that never used to happen. Flooding like that never used to happen. They used to have the drainage that was done so well.
And the drainage probably went right into the river.
Some new Disney person was like, I'm going to put in something, it's eco-friendly and it does this and we're going to try it out. And they just hosed it over. Guarantee that's probably what happened.
I've never
because
seen
they think
so
they're
many...
smarter than the people who did it the first time.
Yeah. I've never seen such bad flooding or sewer issues ever at Disney.
I wouldn't think they're smarter. They think they're more clever.
Yeah.
Because what I've found is people want to take, well, they did it this way. I can do it faster and more because I'm more clever. Instead of understanding the reason why somebody did that to begin with. Let's find a quicker, cheaper way to do this instead of, let's research this so we know how it works this way 100%, and then see if we can improve on this, or how can we do that way. They don't take that position.
I also think that a lot of them don't have respect for just how much of an engineering marvel it was to take Florida swampland and turn it into what the Magic Kingdom looks like. Because when you enter the Magic Kingdom, you're actually on the second floor.
Yes.
Yeah, you are.
There's like a whole...
There's actually bomb shelters underneath there.
Yeah, under there. And you go back and you look, and this is why I love the Imagineering story. You go back and you look and you see like the footage of Roy Disney and the other Imagineers that are planning. Look at what it looked like before any dirt was moved.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you see how they're building the castle and they're moving, the dirt around, the castle. They actually had to pump water out of Bay Lake, and then they created the Seven Seas Lagoon on there as well. This was such a master planned feat that I think too many people take it for granted, all the work that was done. And like you said, Tom, they think that they're more clever instead of how did they put this, how did they put this together? It kind of reminds me
They're
of
not properly reverse engineering anything.
no.
Well, and okay, back to what you were saying a while back, Lorena, you went there and you saw the water fountain and you didn't say, "Oh, I could do better." You said, "I want to know how." It takes a certain type of person to have the humility to look at something impressive and say, "How?" And then once they understand how, say, "How could I improve?" But you have to have the humility first to recognize the impressiveness of what came before.
And that's one of the things about the Imagineering book. I got to bring it out. I have it over there somewhere where I bought it. It's this huge hardback book. I wish Disney still sold books like this. When I'm reading through that, and there's this actual thing where they're talking about if you're, applying Imagineering in your everyday life, they're like, look at, a piece of technology or something that you admire, see how it's built. What are the parts? What if you could put it back together? What would you improve? What could be better? But it's a lot of investigative work. Even if it doesn't work, it's like you gain knowledge. Like something I always say when I'm gaming is fail fast. So it's like you blow up really fast, but then you figure out what it is that you did and you learn from that experience. So Imagineering was more like you had to know how everything worked. Like how it worked. If you take this piece out, what happens? If you take this piece out, what happens? It's very hands-on, and it is more of it's art and engineering, but a lot of it is based on how things work, how things are, how you can change things. Not okay, I can look at it and I can actually just do it better. I don't have to look at any of those old schematics or anything like that. Like we can do a Walt Disney animatronic. They can look like Mike Lindell from my pillow, but not paying attention to actually making that sucker look like Walt Disney. There's just no way.
I'm going to hold back my comment on that because I'm.
Well, then to me, it even reminds me of the difference if you look at, for example, Sleeping Beauty and Elio. My mom was an artist and an art teacher, and that was one of her biggest complaints with where a lot of animation was going is they had this rich history of actual really artistic styles. If you look at the difference between Sleeping Beauty and Snow White and a lot of these original animated, he had different aesthetics, he had different styles, he had like it was real true art. Any of those things were actually high quality art. Now a lot of this stuff just looks like coloring books. Like, no offense to Elio, but the Elio art style looks like a coloring book.
Oh, you're right. It looks like Cal Arts.
Yes,
Cal Arts Bean Mouth.
Exactly. And I'm not saying it's not art, it's still art, but there's a different level of skill. You can obviously tell there was a certain level of passion, skill, dedication, and intentionality with that OG art versus the stuff we get now.
I would even say like one of the reasons why the first Toy Story movie was such a blockbuster is they took like they still use like some of the same 2D sketching techniques. Like if you ever go back and you see the behind the scenes thing where they actually, hand draw it, how would this toy do this? How would Woody move? How would you do that? And they just use that CGI as a tool. And that whole art style of the first movie was amazing because of that. you could just like feel how old how old the toys were, how they worked and everything. But now it's just like no one wants to do that. Like even for Finding Nemo, that's the other one. Because I watched this one documentary where John Lasseter, God bless him, he said, okay, first of all, if you know anything about digital animation, animating water is one of the hardest freaking things to do. So he sent his crew, this is an actual field trip that makes sense. He sent them like to the Great Barrier Reef. And they actually had to snorkel, pay attention to like the fish, pay attention to the water in different conditions, how the light looked, how everything looked underwater. And you saw this progression from this really just ass looking piece of artwork that didn't make any semblance of whatever looked real to the finished product. Because when you watch Finding Nemo and you see like the pattern of the of the sand and how the water, how the light goes through the water, that was what they did on purpose. Because they're like, you need to go back and actually see how things work underwater. Like the same thing when like say with Bambi, if you saw like some of the old Walt Disney reels from then where they had the animators actually sit there and observe how the animals would move, and then they would actually draw that.
Well, and when they were doing Moana, they actually sent people to the Polynesian Cultural Center in Hawaii. And they have a lot of those full-size boats that have been built, and they had the expert carpenters who help build them and sail them and all these things. And the animators got to see how they actually go through the water, how they use them, all of these things, talk to the people. So when they're showing them doing the sails and hoisting things, it's because they'd actually seen it happen in real life. And so they were able to get that level of authenticity to the concept, where they're not doing those field trips in using them for actual research. They're not actually putting them to use now. Oh, they do the field trips. They just don't do the work.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't learn about New Orleans culture by just staying in the Four Seasons.
Oh my god!
Wow.
and just doing an art boat, not an art boat, excuse me, like an air. It wasn't even an airboat. I don't know what the heck that thing was.
If you were gonna go, why didn't they stay? Like there's some of the places in the French Quarter where you can stay in like the actual like historic buildings and stuff like that. Why weren't they staying in those buildings? Why weren't they talking to the locals about the culture and the history and their food and all of that? There's so much they could have learned. It's obvious they didn't.
No, they really didn't. Like for example, with Princess and the Frog, obviously they did their research. So instead of staying, I want to say again, staying at like the Four Seasons, they probably staying at a boutique, the Ramada Inn or something like that. They're probably staying in a boutique hotel in the French Quarter, like the Bienville House. I actually stayed there. That's in the Quarter. The Quarter has its own unique aroma, kind of like New York City, but it does with the old buildings, with the culture, like wine with breakfast, like with gumbo. Usually the best gumbo is in some hole in the wall place because, Meemaw Thibodeau Landry said that, the crab haul wasn't that good that day. So she's not going to charge as much, for her gumbo as usual. What happens in Jackson Square, the cathedral in Jackson Square, all of just the music culture that's that's there.
There's so much rich architecture, art, history in New Orleans that they could have, if they really had to retheme that ride, they could have easily drawn. It's not like they had to even come up with stuff. It's all there to be used.
Made a new ride altogether and left Splash Mountain.
They really should have.
They really should have. Because
that's the thing. They did it for PC bullshit reasons.
They did.
That's what it comes down to.
They didn't even care enough about their PC reasons. I'm gonna censor myself a little bit, but like they're half-baked ideas to even give it a full faith attempt. Like, you look at that and you cannot believe that the person who came up with that actually cared.
No, because why the heck are you going to bring in Haitian music and Cuban music in a Creole attraction?
Yep.
You know,
Because they don't know the difference.
No, they don't. And there was no need for that, but I already ripped on this for the longest time. You can go back and you can see my reaction in a video and in a live stream when I was on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and I ripped that sucker from front to back, because as someone who is of Creole descent, yeah, I was pissed for many reasons.
You have every right to be.
I feel so bad for the Chase family because they got so screwed over by this attraction, and so was not cool. But what's not cool, but we got to do it, is we got to end the podcast. So as usual, you guys are amazing, bringing on your insight, your comments, your chats, your super chats. We sure do appreciate that so very much. Sam, where can people find you, and what do you have coming up, my dear?
Okay. So I've got my podcast, and most of my audience is still on my OG platforms of Spotify, Audible, Apple Podcast, and all that. So that's where I've been for years. But about a year ago, all you pro people convinced me to join YouTube. So in October, I'm going to be having my 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube. I'm going to do my first live stream, and I'm going to give more information about my new things up and coming with the channel. But one of those things is a book club. And so I'm going to be doing a book club starting next year. I'll be telling the books we're covering and what months. I've got authors. I have 3 authors. I'm working on a couple other authors to actually come and participate in the book club month about their book. But the other major thing I do is I cover military. I'm a military spouse of over 10 years, and I love helping with family history. So I help record and preserve the life stories of our amazing military service members, and I share them on my channel, and I help make sure that they have copies for their family, and their if they're willing, also I send them to Library of Congress so that we have the records of their stories. I also help people like Lorena came on, and we talked about her grandpa and her family history, and I tried to help point her in some good directions to do more research. So I love helping people with their family history, learning about their families' stories of service and sacrifice. And then Erica, who's normally on here, her and I, with a couple other military spouses, once a month get together and we have our military spouse panel, and we talk about different topics that affect military families and people in general. But the ones that are coming up in the next few months are going to be moving, traveling with kids, moving overseas, moving in. So some of these topics can apply to people who are not in the military community as well as the military community. So come check us out and see what we're up to.
All right, folks. Well, I have a link to Sam's YouTube channel in the description box. So please do go over there and give her a sub. Amazing content she's got going on there. Tom, what are you up to? What do you have coming up, my dear?
Well, I'm stream hopping with you. Let's see, Ron's. I did make an appearance on Pro Show. I was shocked.
Nice.
And I've been modding everywhere, and I've been swinging a wrench. Yes, this is a different type of wrench. It's more techie. It's not blue yet. I'm gonna do some more rocket launches, and I got some other things planned. I've been working on stuff in the background that I'm not going to be talking about yet, but it's coming.
Okay. All right. Well, folks,
both of you are invited to my 1-year stream, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Oh, thank you. Keep reminding me, because I always have to ask myself, what day is it and what am I supposed to be doing? So
no worries. I'll put it in the little combo thing we have going down.
I've been I've been over a year, and I just didn't even pay attention to it. I'm horrible with that. Yeah.
No worries, no worries. Oh, so glad you guys enjoyed it. Let's see. As for me, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm gonna have a watch party for a hilarious film. One of my favorites, Hollywood Shuffle. So we're gonna watch that, starring Robert Townsend. A little bit of trivia: Keenan Ivory Wayans, aka the dude who launched In Living Color, he helped write the script on this one. So you got to check it out. It's one of those funny movies. It follows a Black actor in Hollywood, and he wants to get more, thespian type roles, but keeps getting typecast. So gonna have to watch it. It's oh my gosh,
I remember it.
Yeah, I want to say a lot of people remember I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, but before that was Hollywood Shuffle. Yeah,
Okay.
with one of my favorite quotes from the movie: "There's work at the post office." Just remember that. Remember that. Right. Let's see, what day is it? Yeah, so that's tomorrow. That's tonight. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Welcome to Florida show. It is my favorite, the Smoking Gun Florida Man edition. So we're gonna be over on the Smoking Guns website, checking out all the latest Florida Man stories, which has one of my favorite things, the arrest affidavits. The police report. So that's one of the reasons why I love going over on Smoking.
So I'm gonna have to make sure I can laugh my ass off then.
Yes.
Okay.
Truth is stranger than fiction, which is why reading the police reports, it's just like somebody had to actually write this up.
Dude, I swear some of those police officers are like, no one is going to believe this.
Yeah.
Not at all. Oh my gosh. So that's going to be on Sunday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. Of course, Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern is going to be the Spice Lounge show. Lots of pop culture news to talk about. So of course we're going to do it then. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just watch the schedule as soon as I send CJ my schedule. My streaming might adjust a bit this month and next month. I'm waiting for my onboarding date for my new job, so
everything
things might
worked
get
out.
moved around a little bit. Yeah. So the company, the contract is with, they do want to hire me. So I am just waiting for my start date. That's gonna happen. So I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I'm gonna try to get in as much streaming as I can before I start, but just in case folks are wondering, what are you gonna be doing? Pay attention. Pay attention. I'll keep you guys informed. All right, well, folks, thank you so much for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye.